Alright everyone, welcome back to another part of my playthrough of Steins Gate, live and exclusive here on YouTube. I am your host Swishbone for the remainder of the evening. For those of you who have been here before, for the rest of this playthrough, the likes of Persona 3 FES, Danganronpa V3, Song of Memories and many more, a huge thank you to all of you and a massive welcome back. To those of you who've never seen the channel before, never seen the streams, welcome. The chat box is open. Feel free to get your comments in there and we'll try and get through as many as we can. We left the stream the other night where we'd literally just seen a revelation about one of the characters and a new plan to hopefully change fate for the better. That's the idea. Whether we're going to succeed or not is another matter. Now, I just want to also put a brief apology in as well. I did kind of misinform you all. End of the last stream, I said, oh, we're going to be back on Sunday. And I even scheduled it on YouTube for Sunday. Yeah, I lost track of all time. And if one 5-hour stream does that to me, Lord knows how I'm going to manage on the special 24-hour stream in a couple of weeks. But we'll certainly give it our all. And there's no time for this nonsense. Because that's the end of the scene. That's literally where we left off. The game has a nice little rewind feature, so that's always cool. Kurisu sets up the time leap machine while Suzuha goes to turn on the 42-inch CRT. Well before Mayuri returns, I leap. Okay, and we've appeared to no text. Yeah. When I come to, I'm standing with my phone in hand. While I wait for the ringing in my ears to subside, I check the date and time on my phone screen. August 11th, 2:21 PM. Oh, right. Now I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I leapt twice. First at 2 PM on the 13th when the machine was completed. From there, I leapt an additional 48 hours to 2 PM on the 11th. It was my first consecutive leap, but it seems to have gone well. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see that her hand isn't burned. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radakan to confirm my story. After she realises I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave us before I time leaped. We come to the conclusion that all we can do right now is try our best to repair Suzuha's time machine. Let's go take a look. Daru is unusually enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of attractor fields and divergence and correcting history's mistakes got his blood pumping. Hold on everyone! I could hear Narissa Jack saying, hey, back after missing the last part. How's everyone doing? I'm doing fantastic, mate. You feeling accomplished? What have you been up to? What have you managed to do that's got you feeling so accomplished then? Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab. Guys, aren't we forgetting something? Like what? What about Suzuha-san's dad? Oh, right. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away. That doesn't matter now, does it? It does too. I mean, it'll take time to fix the time machine, won't it? We should help Suzuha-san find her dad in the meantime. Right? Ah, nice one, dude. So you've done some sewing on the paw pads for your costume. That's brilliant, mate. That's really cool. Every time I try and sew anything together, I usually extend myself 2,000 times. A sewing crafter? I am not. When I show reluctance, Mayuri's puffs out her cheeks. Don't be like that, Ocarine. You have to keep your promise. What promise?
この前約束したでしょ。すずさんのお父さんはみんなで探そうって。
We promised, remember? We said we'd all look for Scissor-san's dad. Oh, that's right. We convinced her to stay by promising to help look for her father. Yeah, I remember.
あのね、すずさんがここに来たのはね、使命とかもあるけど、やっぱりお父さんに会いたかったからかなって思って。
I just had a thought. In the prologue, we found Kurisu dead, and we never explained who it was that killed her. The narrative would suggest it's Scissor-san, because of what she is. But that doesn't explain why suddenly the time would be fixed so that she's back to life again. That prologue's been bothering me. There's something missing there and I don't know what it is. Meanwhile, Avian checking in saying, afternoon, good evening to you. How are you doing? Hope you had a really good time today. Mayushi wants to make that happen. If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, there's no way I can refuse. Shinya Mayuri, you're such a cute, nice girl. Suzuha sniffles. You're right. I thought I could find him if I came to this town. I know that he was in Akihabara in 2010. So your father's real? Of course he is. At this age, he's probably still young and cool. Which suggests my theory that he's John Titor is still real. I so don't want that to be the outcome. I really don't. I really don't want Rintaro or Okabe or Ocarine to be John Titor. I really don't want that outcome. And our Queen Jimmy is saying hi. Had to help with a family errand. Well, I've been there and done that. His name was Barrel Titor, right? Yeah, that's right. Wow, a foreigner! The Queen, she said she was posting as John Titor. She said she was John Titor on @ channel. Just like right now I'm Okabe Rintaro on YouTube. Doesn't mean anything. No, I'm pretty sure he's Japanese. Barrel Titor is his codename in the Resistance. I don't think he's using it yet. So that's why Suzuha called herself John Titor. I don't know his real name. Or of course it could be Barrel Titor. Either way, I don't want Okabe to be Titor. I really don't. It'd be too convenient and cliché. It reminded me too much of what happened in Persona 3 with the bad guy in that game. Sandara, huh? Suzuha looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but she quickly covers it with a bitter smile. He died before he could tell me. Hearing that, I realise how hellish the world she came from must be. Well, maybe that now kiboshes the theory because she said that he's died before he could reveal anything, and she did say in the last stream that Okabe is a terrorist in her timeline. But again, that could also be a code name, who knows? It could be going for a Christopher Nolan double Inception Memento thing. What about your surname? Amane.
母さんのせいだよ。
That was my mother's maiden name.
つまり手がかりはなし。
So you have no leads?
手がかり。あ、そういえば。
Leads. Oh, there is one thing. Cesar clasps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out
ピンバッジ？
a pin. That looks like a Comic Con, doesn't it? It's like something P's Polo? Oshma Polo. It's elaborate and stylish. What it represents, I've no idea. I've seen Scissor fiddling with it before. It's just a regular pin, the kind you'd stick on your hat or bag.
なんか書いてあるよ。
There's something written on it! It reads, as I say, OSAHM, asterisk, asterisk, A, 7010. That's not a 7. That's a P. That's not a 7.
これ、父さんの形見なんだよね。
This belonged to my dad.
形見。
A memento.
誰ググってみろ
Google it, Darrow. Again, that's almost Hawaii 5-0. Instead of book 'em, Dano, it's Google it, Darrow. Darrow runs a search, but gets only incomprehensible foreign sites.
父さんは秋葉原周辺にいたらしいからさ、海外のサイトは抜きにして考えていいと思う。
He was here in Akihabara, so I think we can exclude the foreign sites.
日本語で OK ってことか
Okay, got it. He narrows the search down to Japanese sites. But even then, none of the results look relevant.
全然わかんね
Nothing.
でも、これはきっとヒントになるよ。
But this has to be some kind of hint. With Scissorheart's permission, I take a picture of the pin.
というわけで、すずさんのお父さん探しに賛成の人。
Okay, all in favour of helping Scissor-san find her dad. I want to argue that there's no time for that, but Maya is right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I drag Miuri to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now. Ooh, that's
反
creepy.
対はしない
It's creepy the way it's kind of like I said it. It's like, she is going to die. I can't do anything. Ooh, yeah, that's creepy. Ugh, yeah, that's not nice at all. No objections.
おかりんありがとう。
Thanks, Ocarine! Hehehehe! Daru raises his hand in agreement. So does Kirito. It's decided. We'll help Scissorheart find her father.
みんな、サンキュー。
Everyone, thank you.
でも、私はあくまで1975年へ行くことを優先したい。それが父さんの意思だったからさ。
But I want to make clear that my mission in 1975 comes first. That was my dad's final wish, after all.
てなわけで、タイムマシン修理のめどが立ったら、父さんを探すのは諦めるってことで、どうかな？
So if we still haven't found him by the time repairs are complete, I think we should give up. Is that okay?
それでいいの？
Are you sure?
そんだけ探して見つかんないならさ、つまり会える運命になかったってことだと思うし。
If you still haven't found him by then, it just wasn't meant to be. As I say, this is why I don't like the idea, because I get the feeling she's staring him in the face. But that's just a theory! A Swedish theory! Yes, shameless stealing, I know. It's a relief to hear Scissorheart say that.
でどうやって探すん
So where do we start?
ピンバッジしかヒントはないのだこれを元にするしかないだろう餅は餅屋とも言うしマニアなショップは取ってみろ
The pin is our only hint. We'll hit every store in Akiba that sells things like this. Maybe someone will know where it came from.
マニアなショップって
What kind of stores?
秋葉にはマニア御用達のアンダーグラウンドなショップが数多くあるだろう。
Akiba is full of niche stores where you can find strange and cool accessories. He's right, but... yeah, I better not go any further. This screen's not 18 plus. It's hard to sneak into Radicon in the daytime. There isn't a crowd out front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes about 30 minutes to find a way in. Karisu is back at the lab, working on the time leap machine. It needs to be complete by 2 PM on the 13th. If she's late, it could affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Miuri. Speaking of Miuri, she wandered off somewhere in search of Scissorhar's father.
どうだ
How's it look? I called to Daru, who's examining the flooded satellite. Time machine, while Scissorhar and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls out of the machine. He's covered in sweat and his breathing is heavy. And having seen how tight that gap is in that machine, I don't blame him. Squeezing into that would be a nightmare for anybody. We quickly help pull his huge body out. I wasn't going down that route, game. I was saying it's difficult for anyone to get in there. You didn't have to put the capstone like that. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone were to see us up here, they might report us to the police. Yeah, officers, I've seen 3 people crawling around near that satellite. They started saying some weird stuff about Steins Gate and Hyoin Kyoma. Yeah, you might want to dispatch someone down here. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Akiba still has tourists who come just to see it. We need to take care to not be noticed. It's so freaking hot in there. It's worse than a sauna. Spend so much time in there and I'll turn into Daru jerky. By the way, it's not gonna fall or anything, right? The time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have hooked up support wires, so Daru probably has nothing to worry about. Yeah, probably. Only just. Yes, Queen, they probably wouldn't be able to hear them until they were shouting. This is Okabe Rinser. No. Hyoin Kyoma! Of course he'd be shouting.
治りそう
Can it be fixed?
いや、まだ確証はないけど、でもさ、ちょっと触ってみて気づいたんだよね。
Well, still don't know for sure, but there is one thing I noticed just now.
これってなんか電話レンジと似てるかもって。
It's built kinda like the phone wave.
じゃあ直せる可能性もあるんだな。
That means there's a chance, right?
いや、だから確証はないって、もうちょっと調べないと。
I said I'm not sure. I need to poke around some more.
誰よ、スーパーハカーよ。全てはお前の腕にかかっていると言っていい。
Daru, super hacker! Everything depends on your skills now.
世界を救ったスーパーハカー。お前は2036年においてタイムマシンの母マキセ・クリスに代わり人々から崇め立てまつられることになるだろう。
You are the super hacker who will save the world. In 2036, people will worship you instead of Kurisu, the mother of the time machine.
ハカーじゃなくてハッカーって言えっつってんだろう。
It's hacker! How many times do I have to tell you?
とにかく2日で何とかしてくれ、ダル。
Anyway, you have 2 days. Do whatever it takes, Daru. I place my hand on Daru's shoulder and look straight into his eyes. You got this, bro. Yeah, you got this.
お前だけが頼りなんだ。
You're our only hope.
自信はないよ。そもそもなんで2日なん？
No promises, man. And why 2 days?
それは
Well, because that's when Mayuri will die. But I can't say that.
2日後がさ、リング得意点を作るのに一番いい気象条件なんだよ。
In 2 days, The weather conditions will be perfect for creating this ring singularity.
それを逃すとあと1年は次のチャンスがないわけ。
If we miss that window, we won't have another chance until next year. The hell? Nice excuse, Scissorhair. Apologies, I'm having a problem with the controller. It's not reading the controls for some reason. Right, hang on a second, I'm just going to do a quick save. Precisely.
直せとか無茶言うなっつーの。
Fix it in 2 days. That's just nuts. There we go, got it working again now. That's the first time I've had that happen. I do apologise for that, people. I thought I was going to have to end the stream for a second then. And, well, not end it, but go to the splash screen and restart. But if you do, you'll earn the right to a date with Faris. Huh? Can you fix it?
いいですとも。
No problem. Great. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to convince Faris. Yeah, you've had that happen as well. You had to plug out and then plug back in. I did that and I started to mess around with some settings, but I think smack the wood, we'll be okay. Let's carry on. Now, it could also be, oh, I really hope it's not lag. There should be no excuse for lagging again in a visual novel game. It's not exactly RAM intensive. Or is it? Oshum A7010. We're searching for something with the same cryptic logo as this mysterious pin. Honestly, I didn't think it'd be this difficult. Akiba has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't that many selling accessories like Scissorhair's pin. We check every one we can find, but caught empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. Yes, Queen, it's CERN's fault. It's CERN. They're coming for me. The organisation are nearby. They want my brain. Well, actually, no, they don't. They won't find anything in it. We even checked nearby neighbourhoods like Ueno and Asakusa. Nothing. Scissorhair and I returned to the lab with heavy hearts.
おかえり。
That's been mistranslated. Okaire means return. At least I think it does anyway. Welcome back. Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She's alone.
その顔じゃ成果はなしか。
From the looks on your faces, I guess you didn't find anything.
ダルは
Where's Daru?
戻ってない。暗くなったし、直接帰ったんじゃない？
He hasn't come back yet. It's already dark, so maybe he went straight home. It's too dark to work at Radican now. We can't use lights, because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around. Is she making any progress in the search for Scissorhair's father?
なんか悪いね。こんなことしてる場合じゃないのにさ。
I'm not letting the grounds go cold. No, not today. I feel bad. There's no time for this.
お前のためではない。すべてはマユリを助けるためだ。
It's not for you. We're doing it to save Mayuri. Yeah. I start up Daru's computer and search the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. Alistair Jack, as to where we are with this story, essentially, we experienced a rather traumatic end to the last stream, where one of the characters was repeatedly being killed. Fate, it seemed, wanted them dead. And no matter how many times we used the time leap machine, the advanced version of the phone wave, in order to try and change it, nothing's working. So we are now essentially trying to mess around with time. I get the feeling it's not going to work out very well. There's a pin collecting group on a site called Free Para, where everyone shows off their collections. I post there, asking for information. Oh, the phone's ringing. I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears. Is it son? I jump up and see Karisu and Suzuha. Karisu's holding a phone. That's the source of the sound.
Good morning.
Good morning. Her sour expression says it's not good at all. I wish she'd put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up suddenly like that. I had one of those 1980s radio alarm clocks. The ones that woke you up by going beep, beep, beep. You try waking up to that first thing in the morning. And by the way, what I've just done was a muted version. I checked the time on my phone. It's just before 7 a.m. You came to wake me up? Thanks.
別にモーニングコールしたわけじゃない。
I didn't do it for you.
岡部倫太郎に見てほしいものがあってさ、起こしてもらったの。
I asked her to wake you up, Hakabi Rintaro. There's something I want to show you. I realise there's a strange object sitting on the table in front of me, and that's the time valves every time we change time. 0.337187. What's this? Oh, it's doing it again.
ダイバージェンスメーター。今、私たちがいるこの世界線がどこなのかを数値で表すことができるんだよ。
I think I've got it back, so I'm going to quickly save while I can. If I keep getting controller interference, I'm going to take advantage of saving where possible. A divergence meter. The numbers indicate a divergence value at the current world line. The meter displays 0.337187%.
私がもともといた2036年の世界線を 0% とした数値だから、あくまで相対的なものなんだけどさ。
Divergence is measured from my original world line, which corresponds to 0.
作ったのか。
You made this?
2036年から持ってきた。
No, I brought it with me from 2036.
これはニキシー管だな。いいセンスだ。未来ガジェット9号に認定したいぐらいだ。
These are Nixie tubes, right? Whoever made this has fine taste. I'd happily dub it Future Gadget number 9.
これ一体どういう仕組みなの？世界線の数値化なんて可能とは思えない。
How exactly does it work? It shouldn't be possible to measure changes like that. Yeah, and it shouldn't be possible to leap through time, but here we are. The impossible is possible. You just gotta make it so. Suzuha shrugs.
私もわかんない。
I don't know either.
わからない。
You don't know?
これ作ったの誰か知ってる？
Can you guess who made it? Barrel Titor, I'm assuming. How should I know?
君だよ。岡部倫太郎。
Oh, you did, Hakabi Rintaro.
は？
Huh?
君が作った。確か今から11年後ぐらいに君の持ってる特殊な力を応用させたらしいよ。
You made it, 11 years from now. It apparently works the same way your special power does.
そうなのか。
Huh?
このメーターがあれば岡部以外でも世界線の変動を確認できる。そういうことか。
So this meter lets other people check world line divergence?
違う。
I wish.
多分ここに表示されてる数値が変化してもそれに気づけるのは岡部倫太郎だけ。
I'm pretty sure only Hakabi Rintaro would notice if the number changed.
は？それじゃ意味ないじゃない。 もっとまともなもの作りなさいよ、岡部。
What? Then there's no point. Make something useful for once, Okabe. The phone wave would like to know your location. I ignore Karisu's complaints and look at the meter again. This is something I made? 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling.
これの仕組みは作った本人しか知らない。だから知りたかったら11年待つしかないかな。そうすれば自分で答えを見つけられるはずだから。
Only the person who made it knows how it works. Wait 11 years. I'm sure he'll have it figured out by then.
未来で俺と会ったのか？
Have you met me in the future? She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. For some reason, Scissorhar's expression darkens momentarily.
一度もないよ。
No, never.
そうか。
Oh. I think she has met you, and it did not go well. No.
このメーターを今ここで俺に見せた意味は？
So, why are you showing me this?
メーターの数値が 1% を超えたとき、君はベータ世界線にたどり着いたことになる。
When the meter reads over 1%, you've made it to the beta world line.
1%。
1%?
そう。1% を突破さえできたら、椎名真由里は助けられるっていうこと。
Right. Reach 1% divergence, and you'll save Sheena Mayuri. Well, Arisa Jack, I tried to keep it neutral and not say the name of the character, but now you know. It was Mayuri who we were repeatedly watching expire. As I'm all out of coffee, I'll switch to water. I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just another 0.6%. It seems so easy. But there are 6 digits after the decimal point and no tens place. What does that mean? Something tells me it won't be as easy as it looks.
これは君にあげる。どうせ私が持ってても意味ないしね。有意義に使ってよ。
You can have it. No point in me carrying it around. I hope you'll find a use for it. That's the end of the scene, so we'll do a quick save here now. And then we're back on the streets of Akiba. And I say some of the names here are so obviously off-brand. You've got Panasonic instead of Panasonic. You've got Somvi, which is almost like a fusion of Sony and HMV. That's a rip-off of Uniqlo. They're calling it Satamayaka, they're calling that, I believe. Or Satamuyaka, even. So the stores do look kind of like it, but they are different knockoff brands. Based on recommendations from the BBS thread, I spend the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destinations run the gamut, from otaku stores packed with anime goods to souvenir shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few specialised in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I'm unable to find anything that resembles Scissorhar's pin. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I start heading back to the lab, but just then, a street vendor catches my eye. He holds up his coat and goes, "Got something that might interest ya." The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. This is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I've anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, I see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence. Could he have a pin just like Scissorhar's? I don't see the OSHM *A7-10 logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I'd better ask just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English? Our eyes meet. His are as bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away. Damn! He must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with.
Hey, Master! I am mad scientist. So cool. Son of a bitch.
I'm not reading that one. The dub does enough of the awkward attempt to speak English for me. I'm gonna ruin that.
Hi, 何ですか?
Can I help you? He smiles a wide, toothy smile. Nice teeth. And answers in Japanese. I was hoping for more of a reaction.
ちょっと聞きたいことがある。
I have a question, if you don't mind. I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket. I say, you think that terrible English is bad? I was watching an episode today of an old show called Motorworld by Jeremy Clarkson, and he was in a car accessory shop in Japan, and where it had these wheels, and one of them had the slogan, "Just a roller skate, grand touring all over the ironic physical power." See there, you're driving a Suzuki station wagon and your wheels say on the side of it while you're driving along, "Just a roller skate, grand touring all over the ironic physical power." So maybe, what's worse English, that or what Akabe's just said? Answer in the comments, people, I'm interested. I take the photocopy of Suzuha's pin out of my pocket.
これに見覚えは?
Does this look familiar? It looks like an offshoot version of like a sci-fi logo, like from Babylon 5 or something like that. The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in the exaggerated manner typical of Westerners. Yes, because we all go like this. Wait, you've all been watching my streams. How many times do I do that on stream? Don't answer that.
これの出所が知りたい。調べることはできないか?
I want to know where it came from. Can you help me find out?
思い出し。Sorry, ちょっと難しいですね。
Remember. Sorry, it's a little difficult, eh? What is he saying?
By the way, これはどこで手に入れたものなんですか?
By the way, where'd you get this thing?
それを知りたい。報酬は出す。
That's what I want to know. I'll compensate you. Yes, the shady deal of the century, people. Tell me where that memorabilia has come from. I want to flog it in the next con that comes to town. Weebs will pay $500 for it.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry. He apologizes in broken Japanese. That's not Japanese. I'm sorry. Japanese would be like gomenasai, or even watashi ga gomenasai. Not I sorry. It looks like this is another dead end. Just in case, I give him my contact information and ask him to get in touch if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave.
岡部倫太郎
Akabe Rintaro. Suzuha's standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. It's my favourite. No, to be... No way, that's cola.
Please 飲む
Sep, want a drink? I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Last time I saw her, Suzuha was on her way to Kanda to continue the search. How long has she been standing here? Now we've got the smooth music, so obviously it's time for these two to click.
成果は?
Anything.
なし
Nope.
それよりささっきの英語何
So what was with your English back there? Answer, very, very shit. That's what was with it.
なんかバカっぽかったそうクールって
It sounded dumb. So cool.
この時代だとああいう英語が標準なの
Is that standard English in this era? No, it isn't. No.
そんなわけあるか?
Of course not.
そうなんだじゃあ岡部倫太郎オリジナルか私の生まれた時代にはさ海外旅行なんてなかったからよくわかんないんだよね
Oh, so it's an Okabe Rintaro original. There's no overseas travel in my time, so I wouldn't know. Game. How did you predict my government's stance on travel during the COVID pandemic? You came out 11 years ago!
海外旅行がない。行ったことがないではなく。
No overseas travel? What, you mean at all?
そう旅行なんて娯楽はなかったな。渡航許可はめったに下りなかったし、だから外国人を見たのはこの時代に来てから。
Pretty much. Travel permits are hard to get, and they never issue one for a vacation. I'd never seen a foreigner before coming to this time. So in the future, no one is allowed to leave Japan. Get a bit like Hotel California by the Eagles, isn't it? You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Japan was like that a few centuries ago too, when the Tokugawa shogunate closed the country to the west. And in one of the strangest mysteries of gaming of all time, in the first Tenchu, there's a level which is set after the shogunate opens the country up, and Spanish pirates come to the town. Bear in mind, no one's been outside of Japan for 2 centuries, and there's these Spaniards going around like harassing the town and speaking Spanish. One of the ninjas understands the pirate bad guy. How? How is that possible? It sounds like CERN set international relations back hundreds of years. Perhaps that's why there's no war in Cesar's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge when races and cultures can't interact. Ooh. Ooh. There's a chilling thought. Fuck me. Christ alive. It sounds kind of like a prison with invisible walls, guarded by CERN and the Committee of 300. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but... Anyway, there's no point thinking about the distant future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. And no, first thing, Queen, the ninja was a girl, character called Ayame. And secondly, she's far too bratty to have anything like that. Actually a really cool character to be fair, but it still is one of the biggest plot holes in gaming history. I feel like I'm standing in a sauna. Why does the sun hate me so much? Every time I'm playing my computer in the morning, the sunlight blacks my screen out. I'm thinking, fuck off you stupid lamp. Which is something I'm going to have to cope with for the 24-hour stream. I'm looking forward to that. Shining in the centre of the sky like he owns the damn place. Damn it, why can't we have any information on that pin? I suppose it's just skin off my back if we don't find Scissorhar's father. As long as Daru fixes the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save Mayuri. I can't fix Suzuha's time machine. I can't even help Karisu with the time leap upgrade. So what am I good for? Oh, that's awesome, Queen. You're looking to get like insulated light blocking curtains. I need those. No one can see into my property, and I can't see out. The only thing I can do is help Suzuha find her father. Maybe this pin is newer than we think. I mean, maybe it hasn't been made yet. Suzuha stretches, then looks at me with a calm smile. Maybe I'm not meant to meet him. I mean, we tried everything, there's still no sign. It's just not in the cards, I guess. I feel a surge of anger at her words. Here I am stewing his self-loathing, and she acts like it doesn't matter? How can you give up? We still have one more day. Why are you getting mad? Everyone's fighting for you. Don't you get it? Me? I want to prioritize Mayuri over everything else.
それでもお前はラボメンであり仲間だ。その仲間が困っているから助けたい。そんな前よりの気持ちを汲んでこうして探しているのに。
But you're still a labman, a friend. When a friend's in trouble, you want to help them. That's how Mayuri felt, and I agree. That's why I'm searching.
お前が真っ先に諦めてどうする。
So how dare you be the first to give up?
怒鳴んないでよ。
You don't have to yell. And it's interesting, it's the first time he's actually done anything that's actually quite reasonable. Well, not the first time. What he was doing with Mayuri I kind of also get behind. But this is the first time he's actually shown any real sense of proper morality. It's like he wants to help a friend and they're wanting to give up. I can understand him getting mad about it.
あまり俺を萎えさせるな。
Don't disappoint me like this. I tell myself to calm down. This is just my own feelings of impotence boiling over. There's no time for this.
悪かったよ。でも君さ、言い方が上から目線すぎると思うよ。
I'm sorry, but maybe you should think about how I feel. I realise that we have an audience. Some pedestrians are grinning at us, like they think we're a bickering couple or something. I take a deep breath.
言い過ぎたのなら謝る。
You're right. I shouldn't have said that. It's too awkward to make eye contact. So I look around, pretending to think.
さて、これからどうするか。
Alright, what next? I wonder how the other lab members are progressing. I'm especially concerned about Daru. Depending on the situation, he might need some relief. He's been working in that heat for hours, so we should bring him something cold to drink. And then there's Mayuri. She's been working alone, trying to find information on Suzuha's father. If I close my eyes, I can still recall her deaths, in every detail. I resist the urge to pound my head against the wall. Although we still have over 24 hours before that happens, I can't help but worry about leaving her alone. But currently, all I can do is search for that pin. We decided to try Ikebukuro as our last stop for today. It would be nice to visit home, but I don't have the time. And besides, Suzuha's with me. And he doesn't want to be introducing his parents to Suzuha. Can't see why. I have her as best girl. I'd introduce her. Our search turns up nothing. As the evening wears on without a single lead, Suzuha and I grow quieter and quieter. We're exhausted from walking, and we can't shake the feeling that all our efforts are futile. This isn't good.
そういえば、
By the way, I try stirring up conversation. I should get her to talk about the future. After all, she is a time traveller. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. I remember how shocked Karisu was to learn that she only lives to be 44, and I was told that I become a terrorist.
2036年だが、俺は本当に有名なのか。
Am I really famous in 2036?
テロリストとしてね。
As a terrorist?
そうか。
Oh.
それで、俺は一体どんなテロ行為を。
So, what did I do to be called a terrorist? I've got to be careful in what I say here because I don't want the YouTube algorithms to think I'm spreading hate speech. So depending on what the answer is, I may or may not read these out.
セルンに反逆したの。君はさ、私が所属してたレジスタンスの設立メンバーの一人だったんだよ。私の父さんと同じくね。
You rebelled against CERN. You're actually one of the founding members of the Resistance, just like my dad. Yes, infamy over fame. Infamy! They've all got an infamy! I helped found the Resistance. I guess it makes sense, given what we're going through now. Suzuha is from the future of this timeline, where Mayuri is doomed to die, and where CERN forces Kurisu to build a time machine. In such a future, how could I not rebel against CERN? Rebellion against the system, destruction of order, a new age of chaos? Weren't those my ambitions as a mad scientist?
くだらない。
How stupid.
く くだらない？
Stupid?
マユリを助けることもできずのうのうと生き続けた挙句にそんな中二病みたいな真似をしているなんてな。
How can I still be chasing some Chunibu fantasy when I couldn't even save Mayuri?
世界に自由を取り戻そうとする勇敢で立派な志だと思うけど。
You're fighting to free humanity. I think it's a noble cause. Suzuha is part of the resistance I form. Does that mean she's my subordinate in the future?
俺はどんな男だった？
What sort of man am I? Suzuha's expression darkens.
だから私は会ったことないって言ったでしょ。
I said we never met, remember?
そうだったか。
Never?
君はさ、セルンに殺されたの。2025年に。
Never. You were killed by CERN in 2025. I was killed by the same people who killed Mayuri. They had no reservation about murdering an innocent girl. I doubt they would hesitate to kill a terrorist.
もっと早く教えてくべきだったかも。
Maybe I should have told you sooner.
わかるでしょ？未来を変えないとさ、君はあと15年で死んじゃうんだ。
Understand? If you don't change the future, you're going to die in 15 years.
椎名真由里も助からない。君も助からない。マキセ・クリスは無理やりセルンに協力させられてる。ラゴメンはみんな不幸になってるんだ。
Shinya Mayuri will die. You will die. Makibe Karisu will be a slave to CERN. It ends badly for every lab mem.
ダルは
I was about to say what about Daru, but he's actually beat me to the punch.
彼の名前は聞いたことないな。ウィザード級ハッカーの伝説っていうのはちらっと聞いたことがあるけどね。
I don't remember hearing about him. I have heard legends of a wizard-class hacker, though. And to be fair, Queen, she might have him beat, but what was she doing for that decade? Who got the better end of the deal here? You know what I mean?
そもそもウィザード級ってどういう意味なのかしら知らないけど。
Though I don't understand what wizard class means in the first place. Wizard class. I coined that term. I can imagine Daru slowly insinuating himself into every corner of the internet until he becomes a godlike virtual presence that not even CERN can comprehend.
とにかくさ、君たちだけを見ればこんな未来ってないよね。
Anyway, I don't want that to happen to you guys.
だからなおさら私が IBN5100 を手に入れてきて未来を変えなきゃって思ってる。
That's one more reason I need to find an IBN 5100 and change the future.
この時代に来るまでは君たちは遠い存在だったけど今では仲間だしさ。
Until I came to this time, you guys were just stories, history. But now, you're my friends.
なんとかしたいんだ。
I want to save you.
助かる。
Appreciate it.
お前はこれからも永遠にラボメンだ。
You are a lab mem. Now and forevermore.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, we've got mail. Are you sure I can finish the time leap machine in the day? We still haven't found our lift substitute, remember? I can't complete the upgrade without it. I already told Karisu I was confident in her ability to complete the machine on time, but it occurs to me I forgot to tell her about the 42-inch CRT. Our lifter is the 42-inch CRT downstairs. The electrical discharge phenomenon occurs when it's turned on, so don't worry about it. Just finish the upgrade. There, that should do it. I send a reply and decide to keep searching for the pin with Suzuha just a bit longer. Time is quickly running out. Is there anything more that we can do? It's early evening, but the roof of Radican is still hotter than hell. When I provide Daru with the refreshing gift of Dr. P, a frown appears on his sweaty face.
ここはキンキンに冷えたカロリーゼロのコーラだろう。常識的に考えて。
You're supposed to give me an ice cold 0-calorie cola. Common sense, man. Coke Zero or Dr. Pepper? Tough one. Very tough. I forgot he's a cola guy. No sense letting it go to waste. I drink the Dr. P myself. Oh, you troll. Dara and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Myra and I watch from a short distance away.
ねえねえオカリン、あの人工衛星がタイムマシンだったなんてびっくりしたね。
Hey, Ocarine, isn't it amazing that the satellite was a time machine? Ah, so you say that translation brought the wrong thing, asked. Yep, absolutely, Queen. And oh, you're a Sprite person. I've never really taken to Sprite. Or 7-Up for that matter. I've never been a fan of either of them.
そうだ。
To be fair, I'm a Pepsi Max Cherry guy anyway, so... I technically am a 0-calorie cola guy now, think about it. So yeah, very difficult. Well, not for me. Yeah, I guess so. I thought the Titor's time machine was a car, a 1970s Chevy. It never even occurred to me to suspect the satellite. Space-age technology and time? You didn't think to suspect it? You're an imbecile. I should know better than to take anything for granted. In retrospect, the satellite was suspicious from the start. Not only had it appeared out of nowhere, but Titor only started posting afterwards. I'm disappointed in myself for not realising the connection. Now, I'd say if you're not hot on 7-Up, that's fair, Queen, but yes, orange and grape soda. Grape soda, unfortunately, you can't get very easily in the UK. In Japan, though, you can get it anywhere you want. And one with melon soda. That's very, very nice.
ビルに突き刺さっちゃってるけど、すずさんが無事でよかったね。
I'm glad Suzu-san wasn't hurt in the crash. I doubt it was anything like a crash. It probably just appeared there, displacing the wall, which then collapsed around it. After all, the time machine itself isn't self-propelled. It doesn't fly.
あれって操作がとっても難しいんだって。
I heard it's really hard to drive. I guess she heard that from Suzuha.
重力うんたらかんたら装置の座標がちょっとでもずれるとね、タイムマシンごとゼリーマンになっちゃって、プルンプルンかなんだそうです。
Say, orange soda, incredibly common, Queen, but grape soda isn't. So yes, another reason to visit Canada. It's part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. If the gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just a teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a jelly man and goes ploop.
しかもね、あのタイムマシンってセルン製じゃないからあんまり安定してないって。
And she even said her time machine's unstable, since it's not a CERN model.
1975年に行く時が心配だな。
I'm worried about her trips in 1975.
二人乗りだったらね、一緒に行ってあげられたのにね。
Do you think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit.
お前が一緒に行ってどうするのだ。
What would you do in 1975? Answer, sing a massive hit and change history by becoming a celebrity pop idol.
決まってるよ。すずさんの手をギューって握ってね。大丈夫。マユシーが一緒だから大丈夫だよって応援してあげるの。
I'd cheer Suzu-san on, of course. I'd hold her hand super tight and tell her that everything's going to be okay. Something tells me that won't be much help. Why do I get the feeling it's going to be really important?
ねえねえオカリン、あのタイムマシンって名前はついてるのかな。
Hey, Ocarine, do you think the time machine has a name? Yeah, I suppose you're right there, Queen. Do you have talent for singing and dancing? Me? No. Absolutely not. And I know whereas Harrison Jack, you gotta get some sleep, you tired yourself out with all that sewing, and I can't really say I blame you, to be honest. I always pinprick myself with needles, so if you've been doing that and you need to rest up, you rest up, mate. I'll catch you on a future stream. A name. That's the least of what I want to know about the time machine. Time permitting, I'd like to spend the whole day picking Scissorhar's brain. I'm pretty sure John Titor's time machine had a model number, but the John Titor from 2000 might not have been Scissorhar. There was no John Titor in 2000 on this world line, after all. Although, I suppose it's possible that Scissorhar will drop by 2000 after travelling to 1975. If you want to know, just ask Titor. Oh yeah, Mayushi didn't think of that. Hehehe. Mayuri giggles and runs off to talk to Scissorhar. She comes back quickly. Yep, it has a name. What's it going to be? Something like really unimaginative, like Larry now or something like that, or Daisy? What is it? FG204 something something, she said. Something something. Anyway, don't you think Daru-kun and Suzu-san are a good match? Huh? Mayuri's jumping all over the place today. I look at Daru as Scissorhar again. How do you figure? Daru's all about Faris, you know. Oh. Really? She tilts her head to one side. Good grief. Mayuri and I aren't of any use. I'll prefer to leave Daru and Scissorhar to it and resume the search for Scissorhar's father. But Mayuri seems happy just sitting here. We don't have any leads on the pin or its owner. Maybe 2 days just aren't enough. No, that's quitters talk. Like I told Scissorhar, I don't want to give up. Besides, even if we don't get the information we need this time, I can use the time leap machine to repeat these 2 days until we do. Oh yeah, Mayuri, what happened to your costumes? There's only a few more days until Komimar. I remember Mayuri pulling all-nighters to get her costume done. Has that changed? I already made 2 costumes. One for Kaede-chan and one for Fubuki-chan. Weren't you making a 3rd one for Lukako? Yeah, I was, but I couldn't convince her, so I gave up this time. Hey, can Mayushi take a closer look at the time machine? Just don't get in their way. Okie dokie! Mayuri beams happily and runs over to the time machine. She's acting like this is a field trip. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. It's quite a view from up here. Yeah, we've got these buildings and these billboards and this broken satellite and this broken fence. Yeah, really good view. Good reason to get in a real estate up here. After a few minutes watching the sunset in silence, I realise that Scissorhar is standing beside me. She must have come over as Mayuri left. Our shadows are long and murky. Hashida Itara is amazing. He said if things go well, he could have the time machine fixed by tomorrow. He's a man who gets things done. And he looks so unhealthy and slow.
見た目で判断するな。
Don't judge a book by its colour. Absolutely. That's the first time that Okabe said something I really agree with. Don't judge a book by its cover. Totally true.
考えを改める。
Yeah, I have a better impression of him now.
あのさ、
Hey.
今言わないと機会を永遠に逃しちゃいそうだから言うけど。
There's something I want to say, and I feel like I'll never get another chance.
なんだ。大げさだな。
Why so melodramatic?
私さ、君たちには本当に感謝してるんだ。
I'm really grateful to you, all of you.
初めてこの時代に来た時、私の知ってる人は誰もいなくて、戦ってばっかりだった私の時代とは全然違ってて。
When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in a world completely different from my own.
この時代の方がすごく平和なのにさ、なんだか私にとってはすごく怖かった。
It's interesting, she's come to a world where there's division and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and she finds it peaceful compared to her own time, which has no war, but 1,000,001 controls. Just goes to show that sometimes chaos and disagreements are needed. This era is so peaceful. That's a wonderful thing, but it scared me. All I knew was to fight against CERN.
でもさ、今こうして自分のすべてを晒せる友達、仲間ができた。
But now I have friends. Real friends, who I can share my secrets with.
私が生まれる前に生きていた人たちと出会えて、私のためなんかにみんな頑張ってくれてる。
All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake.
それってとっても奇妙で、だけどとっても嬉しいんだよね。
It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too.
その気持ちが本当だから。
I wanted you to know that. Suzuha's tone is wistful. Why? I try to speak, but she continues before I can.
この時代に来ることができて、君たちと同じ時間を過ごせて、私本当に楽しかった。
Living with you guys in this time, it's been really fun.
っていうか、君たちみんな揃いも揃って我が強くて、癖があっていろいろと濃すぎて、最初はなんだこいつらなんて思ってたけどさ。
She finds these guys over the top, well they are, especially Okabe, so that's not exactly wrong. When I met you, you were all so strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually.
いつの間にか君たちといる時間が楽しくなってたよ。
But before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you.
2036年はさ、とっても平和で喧嘩すら起きないんだ。知ってた
2036 is peaceful too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that?
You're always going to get someone who slings a punch, surely. Unless they've got controlling cathodes that stop them when they try to. And if they've got technology that allows time travel, they probably do. All those, like, neck collars that you find in those dystopian movies where if you go by a certain line it blows your head off.
知るわけがない。俺は2036年にまで生きていないからな。
How could I? I'm not even alive in 2036, right?
そっか。ごめん。
Oh, right. Sorry.
とにかくさ、喧嘩すら起きない。およそ争いって名のつくものは、ミクロなものからマクロなものまで全部消えちゃった。
Anyway, people don't fight. Ever. About anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof. Without a trace.
その代わり、みんな死んだ魚みたいな目をしてた。
Instead, everyone has dead eyes, like fish.
Ew. Fish eyes are really horrible when you see them like on fish stalls when you walk around stores. Seeing everyone with eyes like that, yeah, no thanks. Nah.
誰も覇気がなくて歩く足はズリズリってすり足で
No one has ambition. Nobody dreams. They just trudge through their lives without a single complaint.
笑いはするけど怒ったり悲しんだりはしなくて
Oh sure, people smile, but they never get angry or sad.
個性なんて誰も持ってなかったみんなロボットみたいだった
There's no individuality. Everyone's a robot.
この前君が私にすごく怒ったでしょ
You got really mad at me before, remember?
あの時さすごくびっくりしてすごくショックだったんだけど同時にすごく嬉しくなったんだよ
I was really surprised, but at the same time, I was really happy.
変なやつだな。
You're a strange girl.
確かに
I guess so. Cesar looks at the time machine. Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
君のラボに出入りしてるみんなは生き生きしててすごく眩しい
You're all so bright and full of life. I envy you. It is interesting to have the idea of someone who's come from a future that's really technologically advanced and everything's all resolved and peaceful. Coming back to a time that's a bit more anarchic, where there's more rebellion and there's more protest movements, and finding it more peaceful. It's an interesting idea of just to see that, it's how you've got a life insulated. It almost sounds like her future's a cult. You always hear these stories of people who are like kept in communes and they don't see the outside world. It sounds very much like that.
椎名まゆりも橋田至も牧瀬クリスもそれに君も
Shinya Mayuri, Hashida Ritaru, even Makise Kurisu, and of course, you.
何をバカな。
Don't be ridiculous. There's nothing enviable about me. I'm worthless. I can't even save Mayuri.
私もみんなみたいになりたいって思ったよ
I want to be more like you.
俺からすれば、お前こそすごいと思うぞ。
If you ask me, you're the amazing one. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1930s romance movie has suddenly walked back into the scene.
そう言ってもらえると嬉しいかも
I'm happy to hear you say that.
こうして頑張れてるのも君たちと会えたおかげ
It's thanks to all of you that I'm still going strong.
ほんのちょっとでもラボメンの一員になれてよかった
Being a lab mem, even for just a little while, was great. She smiles then. A soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. What does it mean?
ほんのちょっとの間でも君たちと一緒にいられてよかった
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great.
鈴葉
Suzuha?
岡部倫太郎きっと未来を変えてね今みたいに自由な世界に変えて
Change the future, Okabe Rinsaro. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free.
どうしたんだ。なぜそんなに感傷的なのだ。
Hey, come on. Why are you being so sentimental? Because she's trying to make you change to a different world line where she won't exist. Does she not want to go to 1975? But I mean, she's got a time machine, so can't she just come back afterwards? Even as I think it, I realise how wrong I am. Of course. When Suzuha completes her mission and brings us the IBN 5100, the world line will change. The future will be rewritten, and the 2036 she knows will cease to exist. To hear her describe it, the future is an awful place, but even so, it was her home. She has friends there, I'm sure, comrades in arms, and memories of her father, Baron Titor. All of that will be lost to her forever. No wonder she's getting sentimental.
タイムマシンが治ったらまた盛大に宴会を開こう。
After we fix the time machine, let's have a party. Thanks. And yet, she stood smiling that sorrowful smile. Last time we had a party, it ended very badly. Afterwards, I hit the streets again in search of the pin. And I am hitting in search of a save. Because that rather long scene was nice, but I don't want to have to go through it in case of a game crash. But the day ended without a single lead, so I reluctantly returned to the lab and tried searching the internet. A couple of hours later, and still no luck. So far I've accomplished absolutely nothing, and my frustration is mounting. I can time leap again, but will that really help us find Suzuha's father? An unfamiliar number? Who is it?
俺だ。
It's me.
Hi, Mr. Okabe Rintaro.
Hi, Okabe, Mr. Okabe Intro? The voice is heavily accented. I can barely make it out. Who is this guy?
捨てるんか。
Son? I jump to my feet and scan the room, then run to the window and check the road below. It's the seller from the street, Okabe. Wake up. No suspicious figures in sight. Carissa comes out of the development room and gives me a questioning look, but I wave her back inside.
セルンとは何です
Sir, what is that? I gulp and carefully choose my words.
名乗ってもらおう。
Identify yourself.
おたくはもうアフタヌーンうちのファクトリーに問い合わせに来てテレフォンナンバーを教えていったですよ。
You, one more afternoon, came to our factory, make inquiry, and told me your telephone number, you know?
お前は何を言っているんだ。
What are you saying? No, wait. I've heard this broken Japanese before. The strange Japanese filters through my brain, connecting synapses. That's right! It's that foreign street vendor I met this afternoon in Akiba.
特定した。Nice to meet you.
Identified. Nice to meet you.
どういたしまして。
Oh, you're welcome.
私自主制作してます。Yesterday night ゲストが come here の思い出し。
I do custom work. Yesterday night, a guest come here, I remembered.
そのゲストがメイクプリスピンバッジがユウが持ってきたやつとセームだったのよ。
That guest was please make pin badge, same one you had. I don't quite get what he's saying, but he seems really excited about it. This guy is slow.
今すぐそっちに行く。
I'll head there right now. I go to the same source before. Although his stand is already closed, the Westerner is waiting for me.
Oh, Okabe! Hello!
Oh, Okabe! Hello!
そのゲストとやらはどこ行った？
Where did that guest of yours go?
クライアント come here なのは yesterday なことよろしい。
Client come here was yesterday time. I'm not trying to be offensive when I'm reading this out, by the way, people, and I do apologise if it is offending anybody. It's just that I'm quoting the game literally as it is. I mean, after all, I was in Japan once, and in Tokyo Tower, they had a set of stairs that you could go up. And it had a sign. In Japanese, it had, like, Kaidan no Ueda, which means in Japanese, the stairs to go up the building. And then it had the English translation that said, Stairs 4 go up. And no, I'm not making that up. The blue-eyed white man shrugs his shoulders. So it was yesterday. He contacted me because he remembered.
そいつの連絡先は、住所氏名は。
What's his contact info? His name and address.
ドクです。ゲストはシミュレーションだけ。プライベートインフォメーションは nothing。
Poison! Guess just for simulation. Private information. Have nothing. So last night someone came by wanted to make metal pins with the same design as Scissorhands, but he died of poisoning? The guest was just a simulation, so there's no private information? I'm not following. For once, I'm not either.
ジャパニーズやっとプライベートインフォメーションの重要さについてスタートらしい過敏真剣になったよね
Japanese, very studious and wanting private information. Become nervous and serious, yes? That doesn't help.
If ゲストがネームはテレフォンナンバー残っていったかよ No leak それがビジネス
If guest had gave name or telephone number, however, no leak. That is business. Fatigue suddenly weighs down on my shoulders. I don't understand the word he's saying anymore. My head is full of question marks. In hindsight, I should have brought Karisu to speak English for me. I guess I'll just have to wing it.
そいつはどういうやつだ男か女か
What did your customer look like? Man? Woman?
Well So young or so middle Japanese は顔ヤングねルックだけじゃ No understand
Well, so young or so middle. Japanese have young face. Just by look, no understand.
特徴は
Anything else?
特徴
Um,
Judo or pro wrestler?
maybe a judo fighter or a pro wrestler.
なんだ柔道プロレスラーそれがどうしたんだ
What? Judo? Pro wrestler? What do you mean by that? That the customer is either a judoka or a pro wrestler. It's kinda what he's saying. I think.
Yes!
Yes! That wasn't a yes-no question. What the hell do you mean?
Ah, balloon! Balloon だよ
Ah, balloon! What's balloon?
柔道プロレス
Balloon judo pro wrestling? Yeah, Queen saying Mr. Braun is not you. Possible. That makes sense, yeah.
Good!
Good! No, not good. Are you trying to confuse me? I want to ask more questions, but the foreigner suddenly sees a policeman walking by and runs away! I considered chasing him, but decided against it to avoid police attention. I give up. The search has hit a dead end, and we have barely any time left to find Barrel Titor. I can time leap again, starting at 2 PM tomorrow. Looks like all I can do is wait until Christina's done working, then leap to the time the suspicious character appears at the stand. Karisu carefully connects the two cards she's holding.
完成
Done. The time leap machine is complete. And yeah, you say that Mr. Braun does not equal balloon. Having said that, did his daughter have a balloon at any point? But then again, she's hardly a judo or pro wrestler, is she? Unless he's getting the balloon for her. It's 2:30 PM on the 13th, about 20 minutes later than before. Karisu walks into the lounge with a satisfied look on her face. It's just her, me, and Scissorhands in the lab. Our Daru and Mayuri head back to Ralikan, ostensibly to work on the time machine.
タイムリープマシーンか
So that's the time leap machine. Scissorhands gazes at the now complete machine in awe. I've already explained to her how time leaping works. It's as different as can be from Scissorhands' time machine, which can physically displace actual bodies.
未来の記憶を思い出させるっていうのは面白いよね
It makes you remember the future, right? That's pretty interesting. Scissorhands crosses hands behind her head and looks up at the ceiling.
空想とかもしかしてっていう推測とかあと直感デジャブ
Intuition, sixth sense, deja vu.
そういうのってさ実際には未来の記憶を思い出してるのかもしれないかもってちょっと思っちゃった
I wonder if those things are actually you recalling future memories.
2036年時点だと記憶は 世界戦艦の自分との情報伝達手段かもしれないって説もセルンの研究者から出てるんだ。
Some of CERN's researchers in my time came up with the theory that memories are a way of sharing information across world lines.
Yeah, so by kind of like telepathy and psychic thought, that's been a trope in sci-fi for quite some time. And it's an interesting one. One that I kind of like, actually.
それと似たようなものなのかも。
Maybe it's similar to that.
岡部の力、リーディングシュタイナーがどういう仕組みなのか分かればいいんだけど。
I just wish we knew more about Akabe's reading Steiner thing.
岡部だけの特殊能力なのか、それとも全人類がその資質を持ってるけど岡部だけがたまたまより強い能力を持っていただけなのか。
Is it unique to Okabe, or does everyone have the potential for it? And Akabe's is just stronger by coincidence.
一つ確かなことがある。意識は記憶とともに過去へ飛んだ。
One thing's for certain. My consciousness leaps to the past along with my memories.
それがなぜなのかいまいち納得いかない。 D メールの時に岡部が体験したような状況と同じになってもいいはずなのに。
I still don't understand why that is. It would make more sense if you experienced a change in the present, like you do when we send a D-mail.
記憶に意識は依存してるのかな。
Does your consciousness depend upon your memories?
意識って形として存在してるわけじゃないのが厄介だよね。
The problem is that consciousness doesn't have a form that we can see.
魂も同じ。結局は宗教観に行き着く。
Same goes for the soul. Those things are still in the realm of religion.
2036年でもさ、魂の存在は証明されてないし、意識を形として証明した人はいないんだ。
Even in 2036, the existence of the soul hasn't been proven, and nobody's proven what forms consciousness either.
But the pastors will still be there going, give generously.
そうちょっとがっかり。
And speaking of giving generously, of course, you can go to justgiving.com to support my 24-hour live stream that takes place on the 29th of May into the 30th of May.
I see. That's a little disappointing.
意識が過去へ飛んだことで D メールに比べてより具体的に過去改変ができるようになったが同時に収束する結果も存在した。
Sending my consciousness back has let me change some future events with more precision than D-mail, but other events are locked in by convergence. I can change the method of Mayuri's death, but never the fact that she dies.
違うよ。
That's not how it works.
未来は確定してる。
The future is always determined.
ならば家庭が変化したのはなぜだ。
Then why does the path there change?
世界線が変動してたから。
Because the world line changes.
岡部倫太郎が過去へ飛んで、本来とは別の行動をとったことで、ダイバージェンスがわずかだけど上下したはずだよ。
When you leap into the past and take different actions from before, divergence changes, if only a little bit.
でもその変動はダイバージェンスメーターで言うと 0.00001% 程度の誤差でしかないわけ。
In most cases, that fluctuation won't amount to more than 0.000001% on the divergence meter.
ちょっとしたことの場合、全く誤差が発生しない場合だってある。
Small changes might not register at all.
And yet, of course, Akabe can register it up here.
原因が変化することでさ、結果がすでに同時に存在している別の世界線へと変わっただけなの。
When you change the cars, the effect merely shifts to a separate, already existing world line.
しかもその2つの世界線は近似値だから変化なんてほとんど感じられないはず。
Since those two world lines are almost exactly the same, you barely feel any difference.
So is that why reading Steiner didn't react?
変わる前の世界線は消滅したわけじゃなくてさ、可能性世界線として同時に存在し続けるんだよ。
It's not like the previous world line disappears. It keeps existing as another possible world line.
その辺は多世界解釈なのね。
That's the many worlds interpretation, right?
パラレルワールドじゃない。
In any case, they're not parallel worlds.
未来は再構成されていると。
So is the future reconstructed?
そういうことになるのかな。
I guess you could say that. I'm confused again. Maybe it's impossible for me to fully understand the structure of the universe. Anyway, that's enough discussion. It's time for me to leap again. I explain the situation to Karisu and have her activate the time leap machine immediately. Where are we going to leap to? Because we're half an hour after our cue. Clock's going backwards, and we're not going back as far. So that means we're back where we want to be. It's the night of the 11th. I went back about 40 hours. My objective is to keep watch on the street vendor's stand, in the hope that Suzuha's father might appear. I sent Suzuha elsewhere. I don't want her to be disappointed if I come up empty-handed. I'm standing out of sight, a short distance away from the stand, munching on energy bars and soy milk to appease my growling stomach. Ew, soy milk. Even as a vegan, I don't touch that stuff. Oat milk? Absolutely. Almond milk? That's fine. Coconut milk? Yes. Soy milk? I've already been here for 2 hours. I forgot to ask for the exact time the suspicious character appeared, so I had to begin my stakeout before sunset. Now it's 8 PM, and the stand looks like it's about to close. Is this another waste of time? Did that foreigner give me false information? But just as I'm finishing my milk, someone approaches the stand. And it's Daru, I'm reckoning. It's either Daru or Mr. Brahm. I jump out of cover. Boom! I was right. Daru!
Gege, Okarin?
Okarin? Daru jumps in surprise, but I'm the one who's really shocked here.
お前ここで何をしている？
What are you doing here?
その言葉、そっくり返すぜ。
I was going to ask the same question. Oh, interesting, Quee. So you got started out as soy milk, then after going to daycare, wouldn't touch it, and then Mom wasn't amused. Well, if you don't drink milk now, you don't have to worry about it anyway. The storekeeper is looking at us funny, so we decide to change locations.
それで誰よ？あの露店に何を頼もうとしていた？まさかタイターのピンバッジと同じものを偽造しようとしていたわけじゃないよな。
Alright, Daru, what were you doing at that street stand? Don't tell me you were trying to counterfeit duplicates of Titus' pin.
そのまさかであります。
Fine, I won't tell you then. So that's what happened. Daru was the suspicious character the foreigner told me about. So all that stuff about judo, pro wrestling, and balloons was referring to Daru's size.
紛らわしいやつめ。
Could he have been more confusing? Damn, it was all for nothing. Good thing I didn't bring Suzuha along.
しかし、なぜ偽造などしようと？
So why were you trying to make counterfeit versions of the pin?
いや、偽造ってわけじゃなくね。
I wasn't trying to counterfeit it.
似たようなものだろうが。
Close enough.
つまりさ、転ばぬ先の杖ってやつ？
Well, I meant it as a backup plan, I guess.
もしも天主の親父さんが見つかんなかったらかわいそうじゃん。
Aminishi's gonna be sad if we don't find her old man, right?
だからその時は僕が作ったバッジを見せて、親父さんはいたんだって嘘だな。
So if that happens, I'll show her the badges I made and, well, lie that her dad was here.
ぬか喜びさせるということか。
So you'll give her false hope.
そういう言い方しなくてもよくね。世の中には2種類の嘘があって、ダメな嘘と優しい嘘があるんだぞ。
You don't have to put it like that. Remember, there are good lies and bad lies. bad lies hurt people, good lies save them.
それは何のエロゲーから得た知識だ？
What eroge did you get that from? Eroge.
クラドナドナというエロゲーではなく、いわば人生と呼べるノベルゲーからです。ってやかましいわ。
Don't break the fourth wall. Stop breaking the fourth wall. Cladan. And it's not an eroge, it's a visual novel that teaches you the meaning of life. So shut up.
ダメかな。架空のタイターを作り上げる作戦。
So, should I call off Operation Fake Titor?
そんなことをして鈴葉が喜ぶとでも思っているのか？
Do you really think that will make Suzuha happy? Dara's expression suddenly turns sad.
これ天音氏からは誰にも言うなって言われてるんだけど。
Amanishi told me not to tell anyone, but
オカリンには話しとくよ。
I guess I'd better tell you. He's got a big mouth, as usual. Still, he seems dead serious, so I'd better hear him out.
タイムマシーンを調べていて、天音氏から聞いたんだけど。
I heard this from Amanishi when we were discussing the repairs.
あのマシンは過去にしか飛べないらしいんだ。
Her time machine can only leap to the past.
何？
What? At first, I don't understand what he means.
バカな。俺が知っているタイターのタイムマシンは未来方向にも飛べた。
Nonsense! Titan's time machine could travel both ways.
実際に見たん？
Did you actually see it?
見たわけじゃないが。
Well, no.
そもそもオカリンの言ってるタイターって2000年に現れたやつでしょ？僕はそんなタイター見たことも聞いたこともないけどな。
Besides, when you say Titor, you mean the one who appeared in 2000, don't you? I don't know anything about that Titor. That's right. The Titor I know and Suzuha aren't necessarily the same person. Although their time machines are similar, there are significant differences. For example, one looks like a Chevy, and the other looks like a satellite.
じゃあ本当に。
So, wait, and now he's finally realising that she's come back, she can't go back to her own time, and if she goes back to get the IBN 5100, she can't come back here either.
行ったら戻ってこられない。
Once she leaves, she can't come back.
それは例えば1975年に飛んだらどうなる？今の2010年には戻ってこられないのか？
You're saying that she goes to 1975, she can't return to 2010? Actually, yes, she can return to 2010. It'll take her 35 years, but she can get to 2010.
戻ってくるには1975年から35年間をリアルタイムで生きないと。
Thank you, Daru. Not without living 35 years in real time. Is he serious?
ということは鈴葉はタイムマシンに乗って2036年に戻ることもできない。
Does that mean Suzuha's time machine can never return to 2036?
だからさっきからそう言ってるじゃんか。
Didn't I just say that?
それはタイムマシンとしては欠陥品だろ。
Then it's defective!
そう、あのタイムマシンは未完成だって言ってた。
Right. She said the time machine was incomplete. Incomplete?!
セルーの技術をパクって天音氏の親父さんがこっそり独自に作ったものらしいんだけど。
According to Amanishi, her old man built it in secret by reverse engineering certain technology.
親父さんがセルンに殺されたせいで未完成のままなんだって。それでも過去には飛べるからちっとも問題ないって天音氏は笑ってたけどさ。
But CERN killed him before he could complete it. Amanishi insists that it's fine as long as she can leap to the past, but...
それは確かな話なんだな。
Are you sure about this? Again, the game is leaning towards the narrative that I don't want, which is that Rintaro is a Titor. Because how we got the thing is, CERN killed him before he could complete the machine. She never met her old man. He was in Akihabara in 2010, but she's not seen him. He might not be using the same code name. All the pieces fit. And I say it's annoying if I'm right.
本人がそう言ったし、天音氏が嘘をついてない限りはマジだと思うよ。
She said so herself. I don't think she was lying.
つうわけで、今この時代にタイムマシンの修理が終わるまでに親父さんと会っておかないと。
So she doesn't meet her old man before the time machine is repaired.
もう二度と会う機会はないかもしんないじゃん。
She might never get another chance. So that's why he was trying to make a copy of that pin, as evidence that Suzuha's father was here.
だがやはり偽造は良くない。嘘は嘘だ。
But making a fake version of her father's pin isn't going to solve anything. A lie is a lie.
バレなければ。
But if we don't get caught... I waved Darius silent and massaged my temples. Need to think. Yeah, Quay, you say the first time machine didn't get completed until 2034. Incorrect. The first successful time machine didn't get completed until 2034. CERN have been sending people back and jollifying them since the early 2000s via the LHC. And who's leaping through time before 2036 right now? Akabe Rintaro. What difference does it make? True, Suzuha might be sad about missing her father, but that's none of my business. My top priority is Mayuri's safety. That's right. I mustn't let my emotions control me. I need to be more rational, more logical. There's a Japanese proverb. He who pursues two hares will catch neither. However, that sad smile on Suzuha's face. Now I understand what it meant. I feel something tighten deep in my chest. The next day as night falls, I summon all lab mems except Kurisu to Radican. It's boiling hot on the rooftop, even in the early evening. Do a quick save while I get the chance. When I fight Daru with the refreshing gift of cola, his sweaty face lights up.
おお、オカリン。ここでキンキンに冷えたカロリーゼロのコーラの差し入れとか気が利きすぎだろう。
Wow, Okarin! An ice cold 0-calorie cola! How thoughtful of you! Daru happily takes the cola and jugs it straight from the bottle. Afterwards, Daru and Suzuha start discussing the time machine. Mayuri and I watch from a short distance away.
ねえねえオカリン、あの人工衛星がタイムマシンだったなんてびっくりしたね。
So how much of this is going to be actually repeated verbatim from previously in the stream? I guess we're going to find out. Hey, Okarin! Isn't it amazing that the satellite was a time machine?
ああ、そうなの。
Yeah, I guess so. Indeed, Queen, yeah. Translation, you picked correctly, my bestest friend. LOL.
ビルに突き刺さっちゃってるけど、すずさんが無事でよかったね。
I'm glad Suzu-san wasn't hurt in the crash.
あれって操作がとっても難しいんだって。
I heard it's really hard to drive.
重力うんたらかんたら装置の座標がちょっとでもずれるとね、タイムマシンごとゼリーマンになっちゃってプルンプルンかなんだそうです。
You see, this happy music and the scenes repeating verbatim is giving me PTSD flashbacks to Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm expecting something to go seriously wrong any moment. Just Monica. Just Monica. Just Monica. If the gravitational whatchamacallit coordinates are just a teensy bit off, the whole time machine becomes a jelly man and goes ploop.
しかもね、あのタイムマシンってセルン製じゃないからあんまり安定してないって。
And she even said her time machine's unstable, since it's not a CERN model.
1975年に行く 時が心配だな。
I'm worried about her trip to 1975.
二人乗りだったらね、一緒に行ってあげられたのにね。
Do you think I should go with her? I wonder if I'd fit.
お前が一緒に行ってどうするのだ。
To be fair, if he sent her back to 1975, he'd give her all the time to grow old. At the moment, there is that as a morbid logical thing. He wants to keep her alive, send her back in time so she can't be caught in the thing straight away. What would you do in 1975?
すずさんの手をギューって握ってね。大丈夫。マユシーが一緒だから大丈夫だよって応援してあげるの。
I'd cheer Susan on, of course. I'd hold her hand super tight and tell her that everything's going to be okay.
ねえねえオカリ、あのタイムマシンって名前はついてるのかな？
Hey, Okarin, do you think the time machine has a name?
気になるならタイターに直接聞けばいい。
If you want to know, just ask Titor.
そうだね。マユシゆっかりしてたよ。
Oh, yeah, Mayashi didn't think of that. Hehehehe.
Mayuri giggles, then runs off to talk to Suzuha. She returns a few seconds later.
名前あった。
Yep, it has a name.
FG204 なんとかなんとかだって。
FG204 something something, she said.
っていうかね、ダル君とすずさんって結構お似合いだと思わない？
Anyway, don't you think Daruku and Suzu-san are a good match?
I look at Daru and Suzuha again.
ダルはそもそもフェイリス萌えだ。
Daru's all about Faris.
あ、そっか。そうなのかな。
Oh, really?
She tilts her head to the side, that kind of like,
Hehe. B3 だよ。
ねえねえ、マユシーもタイムマシンもっとよく見てきていいかな。
there's those creepy eyes again. The eyes that will swallow your soul. The hypnotic demon headmaster style eyes.
Hey, can Mayashi take a closer look at the time machine?
I nod, and Mayuri runs over to the time machine again. Behind her, the sun glows dark and orange on the horizon. As Mayuri leaves, Suzuha comes over to stand beside me. Our shadows are long and murky in the fading light.
橋田至ってすごいね。タイムマシンさ、突貫工事とはいえうまくすると明日には直せるかもって。
So what's going to have changed in this conversation? That's the key. I'm going to do a quick save while I can. Here we go.
Hashida Itara is amazing. He said if things go well, he can have the time machine fixed by tomorrow.
見た目は不節制そうで冴えない感じなのにね。
And he looks so unhealthy and slow.
A refreshing breeze blows by. It was quite hot a few minutes ago, but the temperature's finally starting to drop.
さ、
Hey,
今言わないと機会を永遠に逃しちゃいそうだから言うけど。
there's something I want to say, and I feel like I'll never get another chance.
聞いてる？
Are you listening?
After a moment's hesitation, I give a little nod.
私さ、君たちには本当に感謝してるんだ。
I'm really grateful to you, all of you.
初めてこの時代に来た時、私の知ってる人は誰もいなくて、戦ってばっかりだった私の時代とは全然違ってて。
When I came to this time, I didn't know anyone. I was all alone in a world completely different from my own.
この時代の方がすごく平和なのにさ、なんだか私にとってはすごく怖かった。
This era is so peaceful. That's a wonderful thing. But it scared me. All I knew was to fight against CERN.
でもさ、
But now I have friends, real friends, whom I can share my secrets with.
私が生まれる前に生きていた人たちと出会えて、私のためなんかにみんな頑張ってくれてる。
All these people who lived before I was born are working so hard for my sake.
それってとっても奇妙で、だけどとっても嬉しいんだよね。
It's a strange feeling, but a happy one too.
その気持ちは本当だから。
I wanted you to know that.
I've heard these words before. Just like last time, her tone is wistful.
あのマシンは過去にしか飛べないらしいんだ。
Her time machine can only lead to the past. The truth I heard from Daru plays in my head in an endless refrain.
この時代に来ることができて、君たちと同じ時間を過ごせて、私本当に楽しかった。
Living you guys in this time. It's been really fun.
っていうか、君たちみんな揃いも揃って我が強くて、癖があって、いろいろと濃すぎて、最初はなんだこいつらなんて思ってたけどさ。
When I met you, you were all so strange and unique and over the top. I was kind of shocked at first, actually.
いつの間にか君たちといる時間が楽しくなってたよ。
Before I knew it, I started to enjoy spending time with you.
And now this music playing underneath the scene does transmogrify it in a totally different way. Adds a whole new undertone to it.
2036年はさ、とっても平和で喧嘩すら起きないんだ。知ってた？
2036 is peaceful too. People don't even fight anymore. Did you know that?
I shake my head.
とにかくさ、喧嘩すら起きない。およそ争いって名のつくものは、ミクロなものからマクロなものまで全部消えちゃった。
Anyway, people don't fight, ever. About anything. All forms of conflict, war included, have vanished. Poof, without a trace.
その代わり、みんな死んだ魚みたいな目をしてた。
Instead, everyone has dead eyes, like fish.
誰も覇気がなくて、歩く足はズリズリってすり足で、
No one has ambition. Nobody dreams. They just trudge through their lives without a single complaint.
笑いはするけど、怒ったり悲しんだりはしなくて。
Oh, sure, people smile, but they never get angry or sad.
個性なんて誰も持ってなかった。みんなロボットみたいだった。
There's no individuality. Everyone's a robot.
この前、君が私にすごく怒ったでしょ。
You got really mad at me before, remember?
あの時、すごくびっくりして、すごくショックだったんだけど、同時にすごく嬉しくなったんだよ。
I was really surprised, but at the same time, I was really happy.
Suzuha looks at the time machine. Daru and Mayuri are standing next to it, talking cheerfully about something or another.
君のラボに出入りしてるみんなは生き生きしてて、すごく眩しい。
You're all so bright and full of life. I envy you.
椎名まゆりも、橋田至も、牧瀬クリスも、それに君も。
Shina Mayuri, Hashida Utaru, even Makise Kurisu, and of course, you.
私もみんなみたいになりたいって思ったよ。
I want to be more like you.
こうして頑張れてるのも君たちと会えたおかげ。
It's thanks to all of you that I'm still going strong.
ほんのちょっとでもラボメンの一員になれてよかった。
Being a lab man, even for just a little while, was great.
She smiles then, a soft, sad smile that tears at my heart. This time, I know what that smile means.
ほんのちょっとの間でも君たちと一緒にいられてよかった。
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great.
Suzuha obviously knew from the beginning that if she travelled to 1975, she could never return.
岡部倫太郎、 未来を変えてね。今みたいな自由な世界に変えて。
Change the future, Akabe Rintaro. Make it a world like this one, where people can be free.
The first time I heard her speak these words, I thought she was sentimental because she couldn't return to her original 2036. I was wrong. Forget about 2036. She can't even return here to 2010, not without living 35 years. She'll be 54 when 2010 comes around. The present us and the present Suzuha can never meet again. Suzuha chose this mission. To change the future. To save Mayuri. Unless Suzuha travels to 1975, Mayuri will die. Oh, here we go. Is the game giving me an option to choose here? If it is, then that's a fucking evil choice. Let's see if it transpires. But then, what about Suzuha herself? When she leaves for 1975, she'll have to sacrifice everything she has here. How does she feel about that?
思い出を
Do you... Him?
思い出を作ったことを後悔しているか
Do you regret spending time with us?
どういうこと？
What do you mean?
どうせ1975年へ行くのならばこの2010年において俺たちと仲良くならなければよかったと思ったことはないか
Do you regret making new friends here? New memories? Do you wish you'd kept your distance?
そうすればお前が捨てるべき生きてきた痕跡は一つで済んだ
You've already abandoned one life. Now you have to abandon another.
お前は事実上2回自分の存在を殺すことになる
In a sense, it's like you're killing yourself.
もしかして橋田至から聞いた？
Did Hashida Atara tell you?
Suzuha frowns.
あいつもお前のことを心配している
He's worried about you.
たく誰にも言うなって念を押しといたのに。
Jeez, I told him not to tell anybody.
どうなんだお前は1975年へ行くことについてどう思っている
Well, how do you feel about going to 1975?
どうもこうもないよ。
It doesn't matter how I feel.
Suzuha's expression suddenly hardens.
私は行かなきゃいけないんだ。それが私が選んだ道だし、父さんの意志でもある。
I have to go. It's the path I chose, and it's what my dad wanted.
もし俺や誰が止めたら
What if we asked you to stay?
無視する。
I'll go anyway.
アットチャンネルでも言われた。私だけの考えで何億人にも影響を与えるような過去改変を行うとは何様だってね。
One of those guys on At Channel asked what right I have to change the future and decide the fate of the human race. He had a point.
でもさ、あんな未来にはなってほしくないから。
But still, I don't want the future to turn out like that.
私は君たちみたいに自由で笑い合って時には喧嘩もして争いがあって悲しい時もある。そんな人生を私が生まれた時代の人たちに送ってもらいたいし。
I want the people in my time to be free like you. Free to laugh and play, fight and argue, get sad and cry.
未来を変えればきっと父さんも椎名真由里も君もセルンに殺されることなくなるだろうから。
If I change the future, then no one will die. Not you, not Sheena Mayuri, and not my dad.
エゴかもしれないけど私は行く。
Maybe I don't have the right, but I'm going anyway.
そのためならお前自身はどうなってもいいと
Even if you can never return.
This is where Akabe is possibly going to confess his love, but I don't think he will.
何言ってんの？70年代だって悪くないよ。そこでまた君た たちみたいな愉快な友達を作って自由に生きていくよ。
Ah, come on. The 70s aren't a bad time, you know. I'll find friends there just like you guys. We'll have a blast. Just like that, Suzuha is back to her usual self. But despite her cheerful smile, I am certain that her resolve was forged from fear and doubt the likes of which few can imagine. I was a fool to think that my words could sway her. Beneath the clear blue sky, the time machine comes to life. Daru's repairs complete. Mayuri and I helped drain the last of the water out of the cockpit. The machine is still stuck in Radican's wall, but that's a small matter. Daru gazes at the time machine with a satisfied expression. Mayuri is jumping for joy, and Karisu, who ran over as soon as she completed the time leap machine, is visibly relieved. Meanwhile, Suzuha is struggling to attach her mountain bike to the time machine's exterior. Right, I love you guys loads, and I'm really sad I'm going, but there's no fucking way I'm leaving the bike behind. The bike is coming. Don't even think about taking that from me. I will have my bike. She likes it so much she wants to bring it with her to 1975. Karisu was worried that it might cause a time paradox. My heart is still heavy. Should I let Suzuha leave like this? Just in case there is a choice coming up. Absolutely, Queen, yeah, exactly. It's like of all the things she puts her input on, that mountain bike is mine. It's not going anywhere but with me. I chide myself for the thought. It's not my choice to make. Suzuha isn't from this time. If she doesn't want to stay, then I have no reason to keep her from leaving. Except if you love her, you should tell her that. That's assuming he does. He might not. Suzuha finishes securing her bicycle and turns to us with a soft smile. It's not the painful, forced smile I saw yesterday. We don't perform a startup test. Activating the time machine would draw too much attention. So we're just going to wing it. Fortunately, we have the time leap machine for insurance. My only regret is that we couldn't find her father.
みんな本当にサンキューね。なんてお礼を言っていいやら。
Thanks, guys. Really. I can't thank you enough.
マユシーたちのこと忘れちゃ嫌だよ。
Don't forget about us.
俺なら僕とチュッチュしてください。
Oh. As smooth as sandpaper covered in broken glass and nails. If you want to thank me, then let's make out.
変態は自重しろ。
Control yourself, perv. The labmems pat Suzuha on the shoulder and offer words of encouragement, each in his or her own way.
そうだ。これ。
Oh, right, take this. Suzuha offers me her father's pin. OSHM ***A7010. In the end, we couldn't decipher the encryption. Yeah, Avian gagging in the comments, and I don't blame you. I really don't.
岡部倫太郎、これあげるよ。あのラボの片隅にでもいいからさ。置いといて。
This is for you, Okabe Rinsaro. Keep it in the lab, will you? Somewhere out of sight is fine. Suzuha, is she regretting her decision to leave? Is this pen meant to be proof that Amane Suzuha was here, with us, in this time? Now go on, Avian. You say you got a suspicion about whose physical appearance? I'm interested. About the pin. Daru hesitates for a moment, then steps forward. The only physical appearance I can see is the chin and the eyes of Mayuri and Suzuha. They're actually quite similar. But that might just be down to art style, because the physiques don't quite match. Be interesting if there's a link, because obviously the colour eyes don't match. Interesting, David, you think Daru's the father? Well, it makes... Confessing to him, confessing the things, it kind of makes sense. I don't see the physical appearance, though. I don't see the link there. They're not similar eye colour at all. He's got blue eyes, she's got yellow. They're completely different. Facial structure's not the same either. Daru hesitates for a moment, then steps forward.
それと同じ図柄でラボメンみんなの分を作ったらどうかな。ラボメンの証つうか。
Why don't we make duplicates for all the lab members? Make it our symbol, I guess.
それすっごくいいかもだよ。
Wow, that's a great idea! They said the hair colour's similar. That's true. I'll give you that, Avian. The hair colour is similar. It'd be a small thing, but again, I'm not sure. Wizard level super hacker who's all about 2D. Unless maybe him and Ferris and Yan Yan do get it on in the future, maybe. Who knows? Again, the future is unwritten.
珍しく気が利くじゃない。
How unusually thoughtful of you.
なんかそういう使い方してもらえると私としては照れちゃうな。
I don't know what to say.
つうわけなんで画像はもう撮ったし、そのバッジは天音が持ってってよ。親父さんの大切な形ミッション。
We already took a picture of it, so keep your pin, Amanishi. It belongs to your dad, right?
そうする。
Yeah, okay. I stay silent. There's nothing I can say. I could stop Scissorha from leaving if I tried. Or is that... But unless she goes, I can't save Mayuri.
はいはい、パンパカパーン。ここでマユシーから重大な発表があります。
Okay, everyone! Da 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 da! Mayuri has an important announcement to make! Mayuri suddenly raises her hands and calls for attention. As usual, she completely fails to sense the gravity of the situation. Though I suppose it's our fault for not telling her the truth about Scissorha's time machine. In any case, she has my attention. What could her announcement be? Could Mayuri have found out that she's fated to die? I quickly glance at Kurisu, but she seems just as confused as I am. Then what is it?
マユシーはですね、すずさんのお父さん見つけました。
Actually, Mayushi found Scissor-san's dad! Okay, I'm saving the game here because something tells me this is a false flag. Huh? What?
マジ？
Really? Mary puffs out her chest proudly.
会いたいよね。というわけで今日はお父さんに来ていただいてます。
Wanna meet him? You do, don't you? Well, he's here with us today. Okay, Evian, here we go. Is your theory going to be proven right?
どこ？
Where? Everyone, including me, starts looking round. Mayuri has us hook, line, and sinker. I scan the empty event hall, but there's no one else here. Where could he be?
それでは発表します。すずさんのお父さんは
Allow me to introduce you. Susan-san's dad is... How much would you hate me if I now went? And we're going to find out on Wednesday evening. How much would you hate me? I'm not going to do that. I'm not that evil. I'm evil, but I'm not that evil.
うお、セルフドラムロール？
Is that a drum roll?
ジャクちゃん、すずさんのお父さんは
Ta-da! Suzusan's dad is... Mary flashes Suzuhara a grin.
ダルくんでーす。
She says Daru as well. Darukin! She thrusts her finger at Daru. Our mouths drop. After awkward silence comes awkward laughter.
そのロジックはジョークになってないでしょう。そもそもこの変態が結婚なんてできるわけないし。
No one has to be married to be a father. You don't have to be married. That joke's not even logical. It's impossible for this perv to get married in the first place.
その言い草ひどくね？
Hey, that kinda hurts.
いや、クリスティーナの言い草に全面的に同意する。ダルは30歳を超えて魔法使いにクラスチェンジするのが確定だ。
I completely agree with Christina. Daru is fated to become a wizard when he turns 30. They say, don't be popping the champagne corks yet, Avian. Let's let the scene play out. And yes, you say stuff would be thrown. I think a lot of subscriptions would also get lost at the same time.
お前ら少しは自重しろ。でも事実だから反論できない。
You could be nicer about it, guys. But it's the truth, so I can't object. Oh, the way he just drops Daru falls to his hands and knees, devastated. The melting animation. No, that's just mean, game. That is cruel. As for Susa herself, she clearly doesn't know how to react.
そもそも私の父さん、こんなに太ってなかったよ。
You know, my dad wasn't fat.
もう、みんなダルくんに冷たいよ。
Jeez, you're all so mean to Darukin.
うわ、僕をかばってくれるのはマユシだけだよ。なんという天使。さては僕に惚れてるな。
Maishi's the only one to stand up for me. You're an angel, Maishi. Do you love me? No. Down he goes again. Harsh.
あのね、マユシーの推理だと、ダルくんは絶対にすずさんのお父さんなの。
Maishi's 100 million% sure that Darukin is Suzuha's dad.
じゃあ聞かせてよ。どう証明したのか。
Okay, what's your proof?
ピンバッジに書いてある文字のことをね、ずっと考えてたんだ。
I was thinking about the letters on Suzu-san's pin.
でね、じーって見てたら、7010の7の部分がちょっと変だなって気づいて。
After staring at it really hard, I noticed the 7 in 7010 looked a little weird. Yeah, I said it wasn't a 7.
これはね、7じゃなくて2なんだよ。下の横棒がかすれて消えちゃってるだけ。
It's not a 7, it's a 2. The line fell off the bottom.
本当に？
Really? Yeah, you can definitely see because it looks like a question mark. But suppose if it's a really fancy 2, so it's something in 2010. So unless that's a reference to something else. So looking at the coin then, how exactly do you get Daru from that? That's the key question. Because you got 2010 there. The circular arrow. Kind of like a cogwheel. OSMH triple star A, unless it's backwards. Or is that a 50 as well? There, I wonder. If you're going by the same logic. 05. Yeah, because that 0 matches that one, doesn't it? So it's actually 05. Go on, Finish your logic here then, Mayuri. Tell us your explanation.
小さすぎてよくわかんないけど、
It's so small, I can't tell.
デジカメで撮った画像を拡大するとね、気づくよ。
It's easy to see on the picture we took.
2010って西暦のこと？まさに今年のことじゃない。
2010, but that's this year.
だったら最初のアルファベットは何を意味するんだ？
Then what do the letters mean? Yeah, because I think that's more likely to be 05 or 02 now, judging by the same logic. OSMH asterisk 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 A 7010. That's what's inscribed on the pin.
簡単だよ。
That's easy.
岡部、椎名、橋田、牧瀬。でもって天音。
No, it's going by the names. Okabe, Shina, Hashida, Makise, and finally, Amane.
ちょ
What? It was right in front of us all along. We just didn't know where to look.
これラボメンの頭文字じゃん。
It's our initials.
2010年って言ったら何かなって考えたらね、ラボメンの年だって思って。
So I was thinking, why 2010? And then I remembered, it's the year of the lab mems. The year of the lab mems?
未来ガジェット研究所ができたのは今年だもん。
The Future Gadget Laboratory was founded this year.
そういうことか。
So that's what it is.
でね、すずさんから聞いた未来の話には、オカリンとクリスちゃんの話は出てくるけど、ダルくんの話はちっとも出てこなかったでしょ？
And you know, Suzu-san has lots of stories about future Okarin and future Krish-san, but not a single story about Daru-kun, right?
それを言うならマユシだって。
There weren't any about Mayashi either. Daru's observation startles me. It's an obvious thing to wonder about, but it strikes too close to home.
マユシーはラボメンだけど、タイムマシンは作れないし、争い事も好きじゃないから。
Well, Mayashi's a lab man, but I can't make time machines, and I don't like fighting. Of course I'm not famous. No. The reason there aren't any stories about Mayuri is because she dies in a few hours. Only Karisu, Suzuha, and I know that, and we say nothing.
でもね、ダルくんはスーパーハッカーだし、オカリンの右腕だし、電話レンジちゃんだってオカリンとダルくんの2人で作ったんだから、名前が出てこなくちゃおかしいと思うの。
But Darukun's a super hacker, and Okarin's right arm. He even helped Okarin make the Wave-Chan, so I thought it was strange Suzuha didn't know him.
名前が出てこない。すなわち名前を偽っているっていうことね。
So you're saying he used a different name?
すずさんがいたレジスタンスを作った人の中には、オカリンとバレルタイターさんもいたんでしょ？
Barrel Taita-san helped Okarin found the resistance, right?
で、2010年の秋葉にいた人で、
And he was in Akiba in 2010.
タイムマシンを独自に研究できる人で、
And he was able to build his own time machine.
オカリンのリーディングシュークリームを、
And he knew about Okarin's reading spaghetti.
リーディングしたいな。
Reading Steiner.
それについて知ってる人。
He knew about it.
ね、ダルくんならぴったりでしょ？
Doesn't that fit Darukun perfectly?
確かに。
She's right.
それにね、すずさんがお父さんと会おうとしていた日のこと覚えてる？
Do you remember the day Suzu-san went to meet her father?
タイムマシンオフ会に行けばお父さんに会えると思ったんだよね。
She thought he would be at the time machine offline meet. We know that because we told her.
ちなみにダルくんもそのオフ会に行こうとしてたでしょ？
Darukun was supposed to be there too, right?
あれは日本 SF 史を語る上で重要なオフ会だったんだマジで。まあ天音氏の尾行ついでに潜り込めたからラッキーだったけど。
That meet was seriously important to the history of Japanese sci-fi. At least I got to sneak in while tailing Amanishi. Internal screaming in the chat from Avian. It's an interesting twist. That's assuming that this is going to be one ending and it's actually not the truth. I don't trust this game. I don't remember that. It must have happened because of the D-mail I sent. This is the curse of reading Steiner. Although I keep my memories from previous world lines, I don't acquire memories of events on new world lines.
父さんからそのオフ会の話を聞いたことがあって、子供の頃のことだからうろ覚えだったけど、とにかく行けば会えるかなって思ったんだ。
Dad told me about that meet when I was little. I don't remember what he said exactly, but I thought it might be able to meet him there.
じゃああの会場で僕に会ってたらそれで解決だったって話？
What did I say? I didn't want Makabe to be John Titor, and hey ho, I've got my wish, so I'm happy. I'm very happy with that. So if I'd been at the meet, everything would have been okay.
どうかな。
Yeah, because now there's a paradox.
お父さんだとは認識できなかったかも。
I don't know. I don't think I'd have pictured out as my dad. Still, the evidence keeps piling up.
あとね、タイムマシンの名前。
But Dara did fix it, so...
なんとかかんとかって言うんだけど、なんだっけ。
And then there's the time machine's name. FG204 something something. What was it? And yes, Queen, I know that he's not John Titor, but that's my point. That he's not a Titor. I didn't want Akabe to be a Titor. That was my point. And I was right. The one thing I didn't want to happen hasn't happened. So I'm actually rather pleased about that. I'm pleased to have not called that one, because I didn't want it to be the case. I did not want it to happen. At least it hasn't so far. I have my suspicions.
FG204 セカンドエディションバージョン 2.31
Yeah, that's a very Daru name. FG204 Second Edition version 2.31. That was the name of one of the
そのネーミングセンスは間違いなくダル。
that naming sense. It's got to be Daru.
それに FG はね、きっとフューチャーガジェットの略だと思うんだ。
And FG probably stands for Future Gadget. So Scissorhouse Time Machine is Future Gadget number 204?
最後に名前バレルタイターさんはね、ダル君しか考えられないよ。
Finally, his name, Barrel Tighter, has to be Daru-kun.
そういえば昨日の夜マユリからバレルの意味を教えてって聞かれたけど。
Come to think of it, last night Mayuri asked how to say barrel in Japanese.
バレルはね、タルって意味なんだよね、クリスちゃん。
Barrel is taru in Japanese. Right, Chris-chan? Kurisu nods.
タル？ダル？
I'm loving the little dots that it's all joining together. Is that Taru? Daru?
ダジャ
It's a pun?
レでねでね、すずさん、橋田至るって10回言ってみて。
Okay, Scissor-san, say Hashida Itaru 10 times fast.
なんで？
Why?
言えばわかるよ。
Just say it and find out.
橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る。
I'm not even fucking trying. It's not happening.
今、ダイターって聞こえなかった？
Just now, didn't it sound like Daitar?
聞こえた。
It did.
橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る橋田至る。
I'm not doing that either.
マジで
For reals?
マジです。
For super reals? Do-do-do. I can't believe it. But with all this evidence laid out in front of me, I can't deny it either. Yeah, as I say, you got to watch the quiet ones. I've always said that on my streams in the past. The question is, who did he... Yeah, that's the bigger one. Everyone's jaw drops again, only this time we're staring at Darrow and Suzuha.
とってもお似合いの親子だと思う。
Yes, Avon, you've had your day in the sun. You were right on this one. And that's cool, Queen. It's cool that you got it from that. I've been too busy doing too many voices to pay attention to the small details like that. But it's been nice to see something different happen for once. And so I've called other stuff right as well. That's the main thing. But I knew Suzuha. I got Suzuha early on. I just never trusted her. I always thought there was more to her than she was letting on. I was right. Wasn't quite the antagonist though, and I was kind of pleased about that. Because again, I liked her, so I didn't want her to be the antagonist. I think she was just like her father.
プラシーボ効果かしらね。言われてみれば、二人が似てるような気もしてきた。
That could be just a placebo effect. But now that you mention it, they kind of do look alike.
お手柄だな。名探偵椎名真由里だ。
Nice work, Mayuri. You'll make a great detective one day.
名探偵そんなこと言われたの初めてだよ。
Detective? That's the third time anyone's said that. She's such a ditz most of the time. But maybe she's more perceptive than anyone knows. Yes, same as Ferris Chan Nian. She knows a fuckload more than she's letting on. And I'm actually bothered that she's not come back properly for a while. There's something about her that's not been revealed. Definitely.
娘天音氏が僕の
Daughter? Amanishi is my daughter? Daru, wide-eyed, points at Suzuha while flapping his lips like a fish out of water. Dad!
そういう時はパパと呼びなさい。
Oh. Could you call me Papa instead?
こんな時ぐらい変態はやめろよ。
For once in your life, don't be a perv.
父さん
Dad! Suzuha tries to hold back her tears, but can't. They fall from her eyes and roll down her cheeks. Seeing this, Daru stops his joking and lets Suzuha speak.
私来たよ。父さんに会うために父さんが作ったタイムマシンに乗って
Yes, he did, Queen. I remember. You saw my reaction. Turned out my reaction was way understated. Way understated. I came, Dad. I came to see you. In the time machine you built. Yeah.
父さんのやろうとしていたこと私が絶対やり遂げるから
I'm going to finish what you started. I promise. Yeah.
だから見ててほしい
Let show them me, okay?
見てるよ。絶対見てるよ。
I'm watching. Of course I am. Suzuha walks up to Daru and hugs him gently. Daru, awkwardly but firmly, hugs her back. Father and daughter reunited across time. I'm truly glad we could bring them together.
ちなみに君の母さんは可愛かった？ロリ顔で背が小さくてだけど巨乳ってのを希望。
How did this guy become father material? Seriously? How? How? It's a mystery that science can't explain. Sorcery can't explain it. But by the way, was your mother cute? Request petite girl with cute face and big boobs.
それは内緒にしとく。
That's a secret. When Suzuha finally steps away from Daru, she's smiling once again. Now, I mentioned earlier about her eyes having a similar shape and swirl to another character. So it might well be that I also potentially suggested who her mother is when I did that. But if that's the case, there's one problem. She dies in a few hours. Unless there's more to the whole world line scenario than we're aware of.
さてと、これでこの世界線への未練はきれいさっぱり断ち切れたから。
So that's why there's one reason that theory can't happen. That's one reason why it can't happen. Well, that take care of everything I wanted to do on this world line.
そろそろ行くよ。
Guess I should be going.
待て、もう行くのか。父親と積もる話があったりしないのか。
But wait, you're going already? Don't you have more to say to your father? What am I doing? Suzuha's mind is set. I know nothing that I can say will convince her to stay. It's madness to even try. If she stays, Mayuri dies. I know that. So why am I trying to stop her?
私は大丈夫。きっと IBN5100 を手に入れてみせるから。
No, I'm fine now. I'm going to get an IBN 5100, just like I promised. She looks at us with the face of a warrior.
未来を変えるのは君たちにかかってる。私は荷物をこの秋葉原に絶対持ってくるから。そして君たちに責任を持って託すから。
I'll bring it to you here in Akihabara. That's my duty, and I'll see it through. The rest is up to you.
お願い。未来を変えてほしい。
Change the future. Please. Nobody speaks. Nobody nods. We don't have the words. But she sees it in our faces. Resolve. Suzuha has entrusted us with her will and her mission. We meet her gaze, each of us, and silently swear to protect them to the end. The future Suzuha came from is not the future we desire. In Suzuha's time, Daru and I fought to change it. This time, we'll make sure it never happens. Mayuri will live. Karisu will be free. Suzuha will grow up knowing her father. We must change the future, that all these things may come to pass.
それじゃ35年後に会おうね。君たちにとっては数時間後か。
Well, see you in 35 years. Though I guess it'll only be a few hours for you guys.
あ、そうそう。タイムマシンが時間跳躍するとき、紫外線光がすごいから直視しない方がいいよ。
Oh, I almost forgot. The time machine gives off terrific ultraviolet rays when it jumps, so make sure not to look directly at it. With that final warning, Suzuha boards the time machine, waves once, and then the hatch closes behind her. Moments later, the machine comes to life. A shrill alarm starts ringing. There are no other sounds. It makes less noise than I'd expect. People on the street below start shouting and cheering at the satellite's sudden activity. They all look up and point. My phone vibrates. I take it out and open it. The mail is from Suzuha. Goodbye. Goodbye. When I failed to stop her on the previous world line, she sent me the exact same message before leaving. But this time, the world holds a completely different meaning. And he doesn't even reply to her. I lift my eyes from the message, see the space around the time machine begin to warp. A cocoon of light appears and envelops the fuselage. I squint my eyes against the brilliance. Suzuha. We will never see her again. Not this Suzuha. Yes, we can seek her out in our time. I know that I will make the effort. But next time we meet, an immense gulf of time will have divided us. No matter how hard we wish it were different, she will not be the girl we knew. All of a sudden, Daru takes a step into the light.
Suzuha!
Suzuha!
きっとまた会おうな
I sure will meet again!
僕その時まで頑張るから頑張るだなんてとっさにこんな言葉しか出なくて自分のボキャブラリーの貧弱さが嫌になるけどさ
I'll do my best until then. I hate myself for not knowing any other way to say it, but I'll do my best.
とにかく僕は頑張るから鈴葉も頑張ってな
I'll do my best, I promise. So Suzuha, do your best too. His words probably can't reach her anymore. As the light grows more intense, I raise my hand to shield my eyes. Bathed in radiant particles, the cocoon slowly unfurls. The next thing I know, Suzuha's time machine has vanished into thin air, leaving a hole the size of a dump truck in Radican's wall. That's not a dump truck! No dump truck's that big! Come on! The air is thick with the smell of ozone, and seems to pulse softly where the machine stood. We stand there for a little while, staring silently at the empty spot while the summer breeze blows gently past, as if the wind were fate itself. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to mourn her departure. In about an hour and a half, Moeka's group will attack the lab. And this time, you don't have Suzuha there to be able to stop it. I'm surprised that they've carried on the chapter there. I thought that would have been the perfect ending for a chapter. Before that happens, we need to acquire the IBN 5100 that Suzuha went to 1975 to attain. The time machine's sudden disappearance has thrown the area into chaos, which makes it easy for us to slip out unnoticed. See you in 35 years, Suzuha said. 54-year-old Suzuha should be here in Akiba. Before she left, we decided that the time machine's disappearance would be her cue to bring the IBN 5100 to the lab. But when we return to the lab, there's no 54-year-old woman waiting for us. It seems Suzuha hasn't come yet. No more running. Kurisu gasps for breath while Mayuri calmly munches on a banana. As I check the lab for any sign of Suzuha, a line of red numbers catches my eye. The meter reads 0.337187%. Divergence hasn't changed. Reading Steiner didn't activate this time, so I suspected that might be the case. Let's think this through. I thought that divergence would change the instant Suzuha obtained an IBN 5100 in 1975, but maybe there's something else that needs to happen. Will it change the instant Suzuha hands me the IBN 5100? Or will it change when we use the IBN 5100 to delete my email from CERN's database? Or will it not happen at all because her mission failed? At any rate, all we can do now is wait for Suzuha to arrive.
今はさ、鈴葉は54歳になってるわけでしょ
Suzuha's 54 by now, right? After catching his breath, Daru speaks.
自分の娘が30以上も年上になってるのって見たいような見たくないような変な気分だお
My daughter is 30 years older than me. I don't know if I want to see that. Feels weird, man.
それどころか結婚してもう孫がいてもおかしくないわね。54歳なら。
You know, it wouldn't be unusual for her to have grandchildren by that age.
つまり僕はこの年にしてひ孫の姿を拝めるとどんな顔していいかわかんねえ
You mean I could have great grandkids? I don't know if I'm ready for that, man.
ひいおじいちゃんらしくドーンって構えてればいいと思うよ
Just be super nice to them. That's what grandpas do.
ひいおじいちゃんって言わんでくれ
Please, don't call me grandpa. A knock on the door interrupts their idle chatter. It must be Scissorha. Everyone looks at me. With a strange mixture of anticipation and anxiety, I slowly open the door.
Oh, Okabe.
Ah, Okabe! Instead of an old woman, we get a wall of muscle. Our disappointment is palpable.
なんだあなたか
Oh, it's you.
なあ、うちのバイト来てないか
Hey, have you seen my part-timer? Mr. Braun peeks into the lab.
すずさんならね、35年前。
If you're looking for Scissor-san, she went 35 years.
Shut up, Mayuri!
Shut up, Mayuri. Karisu covers Mayuri's mouth. Be quiet.
なんか知ってんのかあいつどこ行ったんだよ
You know something? Where'd that girl run off to?
ここ数日ずっと休みっぱなしで次にいつバイト出るかわかんねえんだよな
She did the last
携
couple.
帯に電話しても繋がらねえし
She did the last couple of days off, and I don't know when she's coming next. She won't even answer her phone. We don't have time for this, but I can't just order her to leave. Not unless I want another cracked skull. Yeah, you don't want that.
実家に帰ると言っていましたもうここには来ないでしょう
She said she went back to her hometown. She's probably gone for good.
何そうなのか
What? You sure?
あのガキ雇い主である俺には一言もなしか
That brat! She didn't say a word to me! The future is changing. Isn't this proof? On my previous leaps, Mr. Braun never came by the lab. This must be related to Scissorhar's trip to 1975. Surely it's a good sign. Now, as long as the attractor field doesn't amend history again... Mr. Braun sighs, then turns to me with a serious expression.
まあいいわこうして訪ねてきたのは岡部おめえに用があるからだ
Well, whatever. I got something for you, Okabe.
俺に
For me? He hands me an envelope. It's addressed to Okabe Rinsaro, but there's no stamp or postmark. The name Hashida Suzu is written on the back.
これは
Really? What is this?
前に俺が世話になった人からの手紙だ今日お前に渡してくれって頼まれてた
It's from the lady who used to own this building. She asked me to give it to you on this day.
誰だ
Huh? Who?
おめえこそすずさんとはどういう関係なの
How did you know Suzu-san anyway? Suzu-san? Of course! The name on the back of the reads Hashida Suzu. Hashida is Daru's surname.
この女性は今どこに
Where is she now?
いや10年前に亡くなったんだ
Huh? She passed away 10 years ago.
亡くなっ
Passed away? She's dead? A wave of dizziness nearly sweeps me off my feet.
いくつぐらいの人だっ
How old was she?
50は超えてなかったな
Mid-40s, I think. The age fits.
た渡してくれて感謝しますミスター・ブラウン
Thank you for taking care of this letter, Mr. Braun.
これもしかしてすずさん
Eh? Is it from Suzu-san?
マジでなんで店長が
Seriously? Why did he have it? You just found out your daughter's dead? And your question is, why did he have the letter? Well, am I the only one thinking this? Mr. Braun clearly doesn't understand our reaction, and we're not about to explain. I thank him again, he grumbles a bit and leaves. As soon as he's gone, I break the seal and open the envelope. Inside is a handwritten letter. The characters are slightly messy, as if her hand was shaking as she wrote it. Our eyes, transfixed, begin to read.
岡部倫太郎様
Dear Okabe Rinsaro,
お久しぶりです天音鈴葉です橋田タイターの娘です
it's me, Amani Scissorha, Hashida Taira's daughter. It's been a long time.
あなたにとってはつい数時間前以来のことかもしれない
Though for you, I'm sure only a few hours have passed.
今は西暦2000年の6月13日です。
The date is the year 13th, the year 2000. June 13th, the year 2000.
これをあなたが読んでいる。だいたい10年前ということになります。
Meaning I'm writing this 10 years before you will read it.
And hello, John Titor was there in the year 2000.
結論だけ書く。
I'll get right to the point.
失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。
Called it.
失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。
I failed. 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 I failed.
And repeated far too many times for me to carry on.
私は失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。失敗した。私は失敗した。失敗。今は西暦2000年の6月14日です。
Okay, what's going to happen now?
The date is June 14th, the year 2000.
これをあなたが読んでいる。だいたい9年前、10年前になります。
About 9 or 10 years before you will read this.
失敗した。私が私だということを思い出したのはほんの1年前だった。
I only remembered who I was 1 year ago today.
恐怖の大王が落ちるとか言われてた日。
The day Nostradamus said the king of terror would come.
バカだバカだ。何が恐怖の大王だ。どうせなら落ちてくれればよかった。
Stupid, stupid, king of terror. He should have come and burned us all away.
私はこの24年間記憶を失っていた。
For 24 years I forgot who I was.
覚えていたのは名前ぐらいだった。
All I could remember was my name.
思い出したのはほんの1年前だった。
I finally remembered 1 year ago.
恐怖の大王が落ちると言われて落ちなかった日。
The day the king of terror was supposed to come but didn't.
恐怖の大王なんてどこにもいないけど私は死にたい。
On the stream, Cineups joined in, saying first one caught live, asking what the policy is regarding dropping hints, brackets not a spoiler. Well, we've shared theories in the past, but at the same time, we ideally like to keep them as blind as possible. Which, so far, has worked really well, actually. Thank you for checking out the stream live. Welcome to the stream, mate.
修理が完全じゃなかった。タイムマシンは不具合があった。私は1975年に飛んだ時何も覚えていなかった。
The repairs were incomplete. The time machine malfunctioned. When I arrived in 1975, I couldn't remember anything.
それを今になって思い出す私は真っ白でどうしたらいいかわからず施設に保護された。
They found me lying in the street like a broken doll and took me to a hospital.
今は一人暮らしをしているけどそれは橋田鈴というまっさらな人間として普通に生活してきただけで天音鈴葉としての使命は完全に忘れていて去年思い出した。
Now I've been living on my own for years, but that's as Hashida Suzu, a normal person who forgot the duty and mission of Amine Suzuha. I only remembered last year.
失敗した失敗した失敗した失敗した失敗した失敗した失敗した失敗した失敗した私は失敗。
Yeah.
何が原因なの。タイムトラベルはうまくいかなかった。父さんの修理が完全じゃなかったんだ。でも父さんは悪くない。私が悪いんだ。
Something went wrong. I don't know what. The repairs were incomplete, but it's not Dad's fault. It's mine.
まっすぐ1975年へ飛んでいればよかった。2010年に寄り道するべきじゃなかった。わがままを言ってる場合じゃなかった。これじゃ未来は変わらない。
I should have gone straight to 1975. I shouldn't have stopped in 2010. But I was selfish, and now the future is doomed.
IBN 5100は手には入れられなかった。
There's no IBN 5100. I'm sorry.
ごめんね。
I'm so sorry.
私は何のためにこの年まで生きてきたんだろう。
For what purpose have I lived to this age?
使命を忘れてただのうのうと生きてきた。
I forgot my duty and lived a carefree life instead.
こんな人生何の意味もない。
Now my life has no meaning at all.
意味がない意味がない意味がない。
It's worthless. Worthless. Worthless.
思い出さなければよかった。
I wished I hadn't remembered.
思い出せてよかった。
I'm glad I finally remembered.
君に謝ることができてよかった。
I'm glad I had this chance to say sorry.
A meta hint rather about the game rather than the story. Meta? Colour me intrigued enough to ask what you mean by that. Assuming, as you say, it's not a spoiler. Anything meta I do find interesting. And I've told it not to break the fourth wall far too many times on both this stream and the archive. So I'm interested.
許して許して許して許して許して許して。
Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me.
私の計画は狂ってしまった。
My plan failed.
その原因をこの1年考え続けていた。
I spent this whole year asking myself why.
そして分かった。
I finally figured it out.
私が1975年へ飛ぶのを1日でもためらわなければこんなことにはならなかった。
If I hadn't postponed my leap to 1975, this wouldn't have happened.
岡部倫太郎、
Okabe Rintaro.
君はあのタイムマシンオフ会の後1975年へ飛ぼうとした私を引き止めた。
After the offline meet, you stopped me going from 19 to 1975.
それはとても嬉しかったけど、でもそこで引き止めたのは失敗だったんだ。
I was really happy, but that's where it all went wrong.
私はあの日飛ばなければならなかったんだ。あの日を逃したらダメだったんだ。
I should have left. I shouldn't have waited. That was my last chance.
引き止められたから、その夜に雷雨があってタイムマシンが壊れてしまったんだ。
That night, there was a thunderstorm. My time machine was flooded.
もしも時間を戻せるなら、あの日の私を引き止めないようにしてほしい。
If you can go back to that day, please, please, let me leave.
そうすれば私は君たちに IBN5100 を届けられる。
Then I can bring you the IBN 5100.
使命を果たせる。
I can fulfill my mission.
私は使命を果たしたい。
Please, that's all I want.
父さんと約束したから。
I promised Dad.
父さんの意志だから。
This was his dream.
私の未来を変えたいから。
I want to change the future.
ごめん
I'm sorry.
ごめん
I'm sorry.
ごめん。
I'm sorry.
こんな人生は無意味だった。
My life was meaningless.
My hands curl, crumpling the page. I realise that I'm crying. Oh, this is something I can't do. I can't do tear VA. I can't do it. Says I failed? She lost her memory? Her life was meaningless? This can't be happening. Nobody says a word. Their faces, like mine, are frozen in disbelief. I turn to Daru. He's whiter than a sheet.
誰？タイムマシンを直したんじゃなかったのか？
Daru, didn't you fix the time machine?
治ってたはずだよ。はずだけど、そもそもタイムマシンを直すのなんて初めてだったし、見落としがあったのかも。
I did. I thought I did. But I mean, that was my first time repairing a time machine. I might have missed something.
Go back to earlier in the chapter. Save over that one.
見落としたと。そのせいでお前の娘は 24年間も記憶を失ったのだぞ。
I take it back. Okabe is still the biggest fucking arsehole in the world. What a fucking idiot. Missed something? Whatever you missed cost your daughter 24 years of her life!
僕だって好きで見ようとしたわけじゃ。
As I say, I mean, Cineo, you mentioned something to do with the structure of the game and choices. I've already had a thought as to what that might be. And I have a feeling it's to do with the cell phone and the replies you give to the characters, essentially. Let's say this is a blind playthrough, so if we get to the worst ending or another ending, then no big deal. Once we've got that out of the way, we've got an idea of where we've gone, and then come back on another route, essentially. I suspect, as I say, it's to do with the cell phones, because there have been lots of different answers in terms of the way you say it. So I think that's my interpretation. I didn't do it on purpose!
そうよ。
Calm down.
落ち着きなさい。橋田はできる限りのことを精一杯やった。彼を責めるのはお門違いよ。
Calm down, both of you. Hashida did everything he could. He doesn't deserve your anger, Okabe.
お前はなんでそんなに冷静なんだ。
How can you be so calm?
こういう性格なの。悪かったな。とにかく落ち着け。
That's how I am. Sorry. Now calm down. It's not Daru's fault. I know that. But it can't end like this. It can't! What was Suzuha feeling as she wrote this letter? Well, judging by the sudden drop-off here, I'd assume that she wrote it while under the influence of something. And she died relatively young. Not long after remembering who she was. I'm not going to say what the further implications are there. Join the Dutch Styles, people. I look at the words scrawled upon the page, every character resonant with despair. I wanted to welcome her back with a smile. Instead, this. Suzuha is dead. 10 years gone. Wait, how did she die? Don't tell me. Mr. Braun must know what happened. I run to the window and check the street. Mr. Braun's outside, closing up shop.
Mr. Brown!
Mr. Braun! I run downstairs.
岡部、例のラジカンの人工衛星消えたってよ。大騒ぎらしいぜ。
Okabe! Did you hear? That satellite up and disappeared. Everyone's talking about it. I guess it's already made the news.
そんなことより聞かせてください。
Please, I need to know.
なんだ
Huh? Know what?
橋田鈴さんの亡くなった状況について。
Hashida Suzu-san. How did she die?
知ってどうする
Why'd you want to know that? He looks at me hard. I meet his stare unflinching.
俺は今まで彼女の死について何も知らなかった。
I don't know anything about how she died.
彼女の最後を知っておかなければならない。そんな気がするんです。そうしなくちゃいけないんだ。それがどんな最後だったにしろ、この胸に刻みつけておかないと。
I need to know what her last moments were like. I feel it's my duty to know. To engrave her memory upon my heart.
単なる好奇心ってわけじゃなさそうだな。
Sounds like you got a reason.
で、もう一度聞くが、すずさんとはどういう関係だ
What I want to know is how you knew her.
古い知り合いです。
She was an old acquaintance. That's all I can say.
とても古い知り合いで、でも彼女と過ごしたわずかな時間は今もはっきり思い出すことができるんです。
A very old acquaintance. but I still remember the time I spent with her.
聞かせてください。
So please, tell me.
あまり言いたくはないんだがな。これから俺が言うことは心して聞けよ。いいか。
I don't like to talk about it, but alright. Listen good, Okabe. I slowly nod, and then I get my answer.
自殺だ。
As I thought it was. I don't know if I can say that word out loud, because I know that some streamers have actually had their streams like censored or bleeped. Me included. My Doki Doki Literature Club streams. My final one was actually deleted for a while. I had to appeal to get it reinstated. So I'm going to play cautious on this one. I'm not going to say it. The world drops on my heart like an anvil. Not the right allegory to use there. That makes you think of cartoons, and that's not appropriate for this scene. My knees give out and collapse to the pavement.
自宅で首をつってな。俺が第一発見者だ。
I was the one who found her. My life was meaningless. I recall the last words she wrote in her letter. Words of unimaginable despair. She didn't deserve so bleak an end.
そんなことになる1年ぐらい前から精神的に随分不安定になってな。それまでは明るくて優しい人だったんだが。
She became unstable about a year before it happened. Before that, she was a nice, cheerful lady.
俺はあの人の家に下宿させてもらってたんだ。
This building was hers. She gave me a place to stay.
スズさんは天涯孤独だったし、葬式にはほとんど人は来なかった。寂しいもんだったぜ。
She had no relatives, you know. Almost no one came to her funeral. It was a sad thing to see.
さっきの手紙はスズさんが死ぬ1週間前に渡された。2010年の今日になったら岡部倫太郎という青年に渡してくれってな。
She handed me that letter a week before it happened. Told me to give it to a young man named Okabe Rintaro on this exact date.
スズさんは予知能力でも持ってたのかと思ったぜ。おめえが上に越してきた時はな。
When you moved in upstairs, I thought Suzusan must have seen the future or something. Enough. I can't take it anymore. I try to stand, but my legs betray me. I stumble, but before I fall, a small body supports my shoulder.
おかり大丈夫？
Oh, come in. Are you okay? Mayuri. It must be taking all her strength to hold me up. Did Mayuri hear how Suzuha died? Her eyes are wet, her lips are trembling. Still, she's the one supporting me. Mayuri and I bow deeply to Mr. Braun and return to the lab. When we get back, Daru is seated at his computer, head on the table. Carissa is standing in front of the TV, watching an excited reporter talk about Radican. Yeah, Radican, huh? I don't think that's important right now. The disappearance of the satellite is huge news, obviously. The lounge is silent, save for the TV. Now the question is he going to have time to leap before this happens, or are we going to see one more checkout? Let's see if we have time. I don't know if I'm going to have time to finish this chapter, but I'm going to see what close I can get. A look at the table. The divergence meter still reads 0.337187%. It hasn't changed since before Suzuha left. What went wrong? I can't go back 10 years with the time leap machine. I can't do anything about Suzuha's death. Yes, you can. You can go back to those days before the time machine meets, and make sure she goes. Should I have stopped her from leaving after all? Maybe then this tragedy wouldn't have happened. No. What choice did I have? I can't save Mayuri without the IBM 5100. Suzuha had to travel to 1975. Consider my options. What if I redo these 2 days again? Could Daru fix the time machine so this doesn't happen? Is fixing the time machine even possible? Daru's skills are second to none. and the time machine was built by his own hand 26 years in the future. It seemed logical that he would be able to fix it. But look at it another way. It took him another 26 years to make it. It took Daru 26 years to learn enough to build the time machine, and he had to reverse engineer Steins to do it. Maybe it's unreasonable to expect our Daru to perform flawless repairs in only 2 days. In that case, can I have Daru use the time leap machine and repeat these 2 days until he repairs it? No. He'll have to start from scratch each time. 2 days just aren't enough. I collapsed onto the sofa and buried my face in my hands. Mayuri sits next to me and gently rubs my back. I'm grateful for her kindness, and I recall what Suzuha wrote. If you can get back to that day, please let me leave. The email I sent. Could that be the cause? On the original word line, Suzuha leapt to 1975 after failing to meet her father. Unsatisfied with that outcome, I sent an email to convince myself to follow Suzuha and prevent her from leaving. As a result, she remained in 2010 for an additional 4 days. But that night, the time machine was damaged by a thunderstorm. If I hadn't followed Suzuha that day, if I hadn't sent that email to myself, her time machine would not have malfunctioned. She would have arrived safely in 1975. The solution is obvious. I need to cancel that email. But can I really do that? If I change the past so that Suzuha leaves, won't it undo the 4 days we spent together? Our frantic search through the streets of Akiba. Her heartfelt confession on the roof of Radican. Her tearful reunion with her father Daru. All of it will be undone. What do I do? And here comes the point where the timeline goes back to how it originally happened. An urgent bulletin pops up on the TV. I look up in surprise. Bomb threat suspends Yamanori, Sobu, Keihin Tohoku lines. Damn! Momoka's men will be here any minute. There's no time to think, no time to hesitate. I run down the stairs, break into the Brawn Tube workshop and turn on the 42-inch CRT. Then I return to the lab and activate the time leap machine. What are you doing, Okabe? Karisu demands answers. I can see the fear in her eyes. We can't just leave it like this. I have to do something. Okabe. But Ocarine, are you sure? Don't try to stop me, Mayuri. I can't let this stand. There are 2 options. I can cancel the D-mail that convinced me to pursue Suzuha. Sending a contradictory D-mail should do the trick. Or I can time leap again and prevent Suzuha from leaving. 2 options. But really, just one. Do not hesitate, Akabe Rintaro. Hesitation is unforgivable. You already know what you must do. Stop pursuit. Last mail. It's CERN trap. That should be enough to convince me to let Suzuha go. Hold on a second. I've just seen the message about being able to pull up the phone. Let me just skip the dialogue for a second here. I know we're just seeing this, but I just saw the message about pulling it up.
Don't try to stop me. Can't let this stand. There are 2 options, and oddly enough, an even bigger backup save. Oh, that's chapter 5. That one can be overwritten. Save scumming. It's always good. Yeah, it's not letting me make any messages yet. Yeah, not got any options to do it. Yeah, it's like the game is literally doing it for me. I've got no choice in the matter. I thought I had the chance to choose it.
クリス、お前は日付を正確に覚えている特技があった。
Kurisu, you're going to remember dates, aren't you? Huh? Well, sure.
鈴葉の励まし会をやったのはいつ？
When did we throw that party for Suzuha?
4日前、8月9日。
4 days ago, August 9th.
オカリン D メールを送るの。でもそうしたら全部消えちゃうんだよ。
You're sending an email, Ocarine? But won't that make everything disappear? 4 days. It may not sound like much, but in that time we forged a definite bond with Suzuha. To send this D-mail will sever that bond. I know that. I know that! But this is the only choice I have. I set the phone wait to 97 hours ago. This D-mail should arrive a few hours after the first. Now I just need to send it. Save Mayuri. That is my purpose. That is what drove me to leap through time. I'll do whatever it takes to save her. This is just one more sacrifice. Erase the time you spent with Suzuha. Destroy every bond you had. Send the D-mail. Push the button. The discharge begins immediately. I place my thumb on the send button. Are you sure? Mayuri's voice is choked with tears.
さんとの思い出消えちゃうんだよ。本当にそれでいいの？
Our memories with Suzu-san will disappear. Is that really okay? Memories flash through my head.
ほんのちょっとの間でも、君たちと一緒にいられてよかった。
Being with you guys, even for just a little while, was great.
父さんのやろうとしていたこと、私が絶対やり遂げるから。
I'm going to finish what you started, Dad. I promise.
それじゃあ35年後に会いましょう。君たちにとっては数時間後か。
Well, see you in 35 years. Though I guess it'll only be a few hours for you guys.
お願い、未来を変えてほしい。
Change the future. Please. Suzuha, I've made my choice. I won't ask for your forgiveness. Ultimately, I'm doing this to save Mayuri. But at the same time, the words you spoke on that rooftop are still strong in my heart. You entrusted your hope to me, your hope for the future. If I'm to honour that wish and fulfil mine, then the time we spent together can never have happened. We're going up to point 4, so there's definitely been a change. There's definitely been a change here. The question is how much. But there we go. Chapter 6 is over. Now then, we're going to erase this one. It's the longest time ago. And well, we've had some rather big revelations tonight. We found out who the rather unexpected father to Suzuha was and exactly what she was aiming for. We also had the shocking failure, even though I called it in advance, of the actual getting the computer.
Now, we've advanced onto Chapter 7, and that's where we're going to pick it up in 2 nights' time on the Wednesday. Same time, same place, 8 PM BST for more of this. But until then, thank you all very, very much for watching, and good night.